To O&M Live here on 1494 2AY and 102.1 Edge FM. Great to have your company on a groundbreaking day for Ovens and Murray football, for the first time broadcasting live on commercial FM radio. Gus McLeod, Blake Panterescott, Dan Vaccaro, joined by Scott Montgomery, who was on the hallowed turf for the WJ Finlay Oval.
And it's looking fantastic, boys. A lot of coverage, nice and green. Bit of a wind too, heading down towards the bar reserve end, so it's going to be interesting to see whoever wins the toss kicking that way. But yeah, I reckon it's probably 2 or 3 goals, and both teams warming up now. It looks fantastic, and that flag just unveiled during that ad break, so the Wangaratta Rovers crowd very excited to see that happen.
Also noticed the Wangaratta Magpies boys didn't want to clap for that one, Monty.
That's probably fair enough.
Notice.
David Sinclair calling them Wangaratta too instead of the Wangaratta Rovers might have upset a couple.
Panda, I'll get you to bring up some notes because we have another new addition here to the WJ Finlay Oval. The Evans Street end of the ground today at the start of proceedings was named the Steve Norman Goals. And Steve Norman, of course, the name synonymous with the Rovers here, Panda, and it was a really fitting tribute for Steve.
It was a really fitting tribute, Gussie. I love the call box here at the Rovers because we are right next to the timekeepers. But yeah, Steve Norman, Monty would know a little bit more in terms of the history, but a legend of the Wangaratta Rovers and the O&M. Listen to this, 1,016 goals across a 242-game O&M career. He hit 100 goals a season on 3 occasions. He was the club's leading goal kicker and he played in 7 Ovens and Murray flags, Monty. So a well-deserved Steve Norman end at the Evans Street end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, talking to my old man when he was going into the Hall of Fame, he said, geez, I hope these Albury blokes stop winning flags, so I still had the record with 7 of them, so I don't think any of them got him. So yeah, pretty cool little story, and his career just is synonymous with the Wangaratta Rovers. And yeah, as we just had the coin toss, 2 boys, and new captain Xavier Ellison has won it and kicked to the bar reserve end.
Dan Vaccaro, let's have a look at the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yes, so for Wangaratta Rovers, on the 40-wing stat sheet, we're going to be taking Sam Murray's numbers, Lockie O'Brien, Sam Catapan, a really good midfielder last year, the 500-man, Brody Philo, and I'm going to be taking Ed Damon, taking a look at him and see where he plays, which will be interesting. Wangaratta Magpies, Jackson Clark, we're doing his numbers, Federico, Brad Melville, Cam Barrett, and we're going to be taking Aidan Tilley's numbers as well on the 40-wing stat sheet. And a little, just a little bit of a stat for you. First round or opening round game since 2015, which isn't featuring at least Michael Newton, Cal Moore, or Dan Sharrock. So a new look Wangaratta team today, Panda.
That's why he is the number 1 stats man, Gus McLeod. That's why he is the best.
Did you have Charlie Thompson on that list?
No.
Well,
maybe that's why he's going to be number 2 soon.
I was just about to mention Charlie Thompson. Monty, is he got the career savers on? He's not that old.
Where is he? I'll try and find him.
He's just making his way over to...
They might be the career savers.
I reckon Charlie Thompson is wearing the career savers. As an on-baller in the prime of his career, I don't know about the career savers.
It is hard out here, but Gus, that's what I'll give him that.
Yeah,
maybe just early on. We'll wait, give him to round 3 or 4 before we judge the boots, I think.
He's got the short stops on. And we're also noticing Sam Catapan's donning a fresh look this year.
Slim Shady.
Collingwood Jack Inovan.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. Nathan Cooper is doing some warm-ups down in the forward line, Monty. He looks to be in really good nick as well, does Big Coops fresh off Werriby's premiership.
Yeah, absolutely he does. And you can see why he was such a unit for the VFL team of the year and playing rep footy and all that sort of stuff at the VFL level, because he's just such a big specimen. So to see him leading out a full forward there could be dangerous for a couple of defenders for the Wangaratta Magpies.
What sort of year do you think Charlie Thompson might have, Monty? Speaking to a few blokes from Perth who played with him last year in the summer, he had an outstanding season for the Demons, best and fairest. What sort of player are we going to watch today?
Yeah, no, we've got Cody Howard working for us too, who played over there, former Cora player, and yeah, he said he's just an unbelievable player. He does all the hard work. He'll do the team things as well as the special things as well, so he said he's one to watch out for as well.
Also, I like the fact that the Wangaratta Magpies, Monty, have gone in with 2 ruckmen, Knowles and Tweedale against Damon and Christie, so that's an interesting watch.
Oh, definitely needed, isn't it? Because we know what Christie and Damon can do, especially around the ground. They will just swap out of that full forward position or forward at least, and to have that little bit of backup. We know Knowles likes to come to the bench. He doesn't really go forward, so to have Tweedale in as well is going to just give him that little bit of a chop out.
Alrighty, Dan, over to you. You start us off. Who's going to win this game and why today, please?
I think Rovers are going to win. I still think they have too much talent. They're too dangerous around the ground, and they have stars in the midfield back, and the forward line can make do as well with Christie or Damon going forward. So I think that's going to be too strong for Wangaratta.
Monty?
Yeah, I'm going to go the Rovers. I tipped them during the week and I'm going to stay with them. I reckon by maybe 4 or 5 goals. Just on Brody Philo, special occasion. I reckon everyone will lift because they do love him at this club. And just as we're talking, boys, that wind has definitely picked up. Still going the same way, but probably going up to about maybe a 4 or 5 goal breeze.
So you reckon a 4 or 5 goal breeze, which the Wangaratta Magpies have won the toss and will kick with, Monty?
Nah, Rovers have won the toss and kick with. So, yeah, I reckon, it'd be at least 4.
There you go. We spoke about it in pre-game, Panda. The breeze was a little bit swirly here, but now it's sort of defined that it is going to the bar reserve end. And interestingly, chatting to a few of the Magpies players, they reckon when the breeze comes through at the Norm Minns, it favours the Evans Street end. So it's a real contrast considering the two venues are separated by only about, 50 metres worth of fence.
Absolutely. So, well, you get it's a bit of a tunnel wind over there at the Norm Minns Oval, where here it's a little bit different. So, the Bushrangers, speaking of the Norm Minns Oval, the Murray Bushrangers are playing on the Norm Minns Oval as we speak, and a lot of Ovens and Murray representation in the Bushrangers, Monty, which is great to see.
Absolutely, it was. I love watching the Murray Bushrangers squads go up and how many O&M players are there ahead of the GB boys. So it's really good to see, and a lot of guys we've seen, and we will see a lot of this year too, who I reckon will play a lot of senior footy throughout the year.
Watch out for a couple of big draft picks as well for the Murray Bushrangers this year. Riley Onley out of Shepherd, and I think will go top 10, and Liam Heatherton as well, one to watch out for.
Where's he from?
He is from North Aubrey, Scott.
I knew that.
And he will, I think he'll go probably top between 20 and 40, I reckon.
Very nice.
I thought he was going to say top 20 then.
No, top between 20 and 40, I think. Liam is in
top
the
40.
AFL Academy, Monty, so the one coached by Tarkin Lockyer.
He hasn't quite played a senior game yet, has he?
No, he has made his debut on this ground last year.
Okay, there you go.
So not too far from getting underway. I think we are going to have a late start here. It is 2:02 at present. Maybe allowing a little bit more time for the unfurling of the flag. Monty, crowd guesstimate?
Be pushing 500, boys.
It's quite low, if I'm being brutally honest. It's not the sort of size we would like to see.
You'd like to see 1,500 to 2,000.
Yeah, it really is quite
Be
low.
a little bit more positive than Mont. I reckon
about
close to
800.
1,000.
I'd say 800-900.
No, well, I'm at ground level and no.
Well, why don't you go and have a chat with the GM, Kane Arendartigas?
I might actually.
Right there,
I saw buckets before.
and just say, why wasn't this played at night or on a Sunday? Because the crowd is a little bit low. What sort of Wangaratta Magpies outfit do we think we're going to see under Jason Heatley in 25, Monty?
They're going to be quick and move the ball very, very fast. I think they're going to try and get it in long as quick as they can, not allow other teams to zone off. And I reckon the smalls might come into play. That'll just be about bringing it to ground and bringing their smalls into play. I reckon he's going to be that sort of guy. They want to move it quick, and doesn't matter what sort of shape they got forward of the footy, just try and get it to ground.
And I think the other thing is too, they don't want to lose the identity of what's made them a great team the last years. Last year they had a little bit of a disappointing year to their standards, but they were still the best clearance team in the comp, Wang. So they're still going to want to play the game on their terms and get the ball out of the midfield and give their forwards first purchase as well.
Monty, just looking at the Rovers forward line, Cooper's going forward, so
Damon.
Sam Catapan.
And so is Lockie McCartney. Justin Lewis, we know, so they'll be high pressure forwards. Dylan Wilson also loves to put forward pressure on, so they're going to be one of those teams that I reckon want to try and lock it in.
Wangaratta Derby for 2025 gets us underway in the first quarter for A-grade oils and batteries.
Thanks, Panda. Give that one to Knowles. First off in the ruck. Clark overran the footy and Christie went for a toe poke to kick-start proceedings. Ball comes out to our broadcast position. Barrett with his head over the footy, wrapped up in a nice Catapan tackle, and will ball the footy up between centre wing and half forward. So 20 seconds have ticked along here in the season opener, thanks to A-grade oils and batteries. Knowles with some early dominance in the ruck. Pinballs around as Dylan Stone gets wrapped up in a big tackle by a White-Tie Tour. The best name in football will ball it up in a similar spot once again.
So Christie and Knowles, great to see Will Christie back. Tried to kick it out of mid-air, and here comes Harry Hewitt kicking a wobbly ball into the middle of the ground. There's a foot race here between Heatley and Ledger. Looks like Ledger's got that early match up. Bit of a skew-if kick to half forward, went along the ground. Cooper overran the footy. Philo in game 500, bit of a half-hand pass. Magpies get there in numbers. McCartney swoops on the footy. Not sure he got a hand to that one. Spills out here to Fraser Ellis. Fumbles. Ball at half back here for the Magpies. They're under pressure. Lots of handballs. Heatley, a long way from home. Retreats Grossman. He just goes down the line.
High up and under, 2-on-1. The Rovers have numbers. Ledger read it better than the lot. Goes backwards with a hand. This is O'Brien. Finds the left raking boot. Comes to centre half back. On the half volley, Stone evades a bit of White-Tie Tour pressure. Now the coach, Murray, across half back. Dinky little kick that sits up in the air, and there's 2 Magpies to 1 Rover. Will O'Keefe got some chasing work to do. Shagger Nolan now joins the equation. O'Keefe finds the right boot, wearing a new number this year, number 1, and the ball has been marked by Tyler Norton. The Magpies play on, and a crucial little fingertip from Murray. The ball had a shocking bounce. Inside 50 went Melville, but Allison, did he play on from the mark? Umpire says no prior opportunity.
Taking the marks, your prior.
So the umpire's going to ball it up 25 metres out from Magpies goal, kicking to the Evans Street end.
No score in this first term for A-grade oils and batteries. Ball spills away here of O'Brien. Ticked a wonderful goal last year with a couple of bounces. He takes one of those and then goes out wide to McCarthy. Played so well in the big games last year to McCarthy. His kick intercepted on centre wing by Smart. Instead of going to the boundary line, went back to Tilly. Tackled by 2 Rovers and Big Nulsey. He goes short here to the Preston Prince Federico on centre wing. Scoreboard side of the WJ Finlay. Ball just holding up in that wind. And we're going to have a ball up far side. You can hear that wind through our effects, Mike Monty. It is really picking up here at the WJ Finlay.
It is very, very gusty too. And just the stoppage, boys. It looks like Tyler Norton's got the job to go to Sam Murray.
So we'll bring the ball back into play. Both ruckmen let it go. Melville, hands on the footy, looks to shove one out. Incorrect disposal for mine. Umpire let it go. Ellison on hands and knees, feeds one out. Lewis, this is clever. Murray, head over the football. Boundary line's where Ellis wants to go, and that's where he gets. We'll bring it back in slightly forward of centre for the Rovers on the showground side. Dan Vaccaro, some 40-wing stats.
Yeah, pretty even start at the moment. Wangaratta gone inside forward 50. Lockie O'Brien and Sam Murray, might I say. He's on 2 disposals. He's looking quite fit, Muzz, so big pre-season for him.
Clever little tap there by Wilson. Onto a running player, Lewis. Did he get grabbed without the ball? Umpire says play on. We'll have a stop. It's just inside forward 50 for the Wangaratta Rovers. Still no score here on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. Call 1-800-GET-GAME. Now hiring are the crews at Game Traffic and Contracting. Nolsey grabs out of the ruck, high up and under. Oh, big contest in the middle of the ground. Spills away at Barrett. Open forward 50. Kicks very long. Here's... Well, that is Matty Hayden. It is Matty Hayden who goes inside forward 50, looking for Laverty. Not able to mark. McQuaid did really well. Hand passes to Ledger. Kick across goals is a nervy one. Brody Paul calm onto O'Brien, and the Rovers away through Allison.
He's playing forward. He's normally a lockdown back. He's Matty Hayden in his return to the Magpies. As the Rovers send it down the showground side wing. Nice mark out in front by Sam Murray. He wants to dart the ball inboard positively. Game number 500 sees Brody Philo on the 40-wing stat sheet. Dinky kicked the centre half forward. Bit too much on it for Christie. Nice tackle applied by Jackson Clark. And Mason Ring has found him holding the ball. So the Magpies slingshot with pace. They bring it out towards Hayden. Little chip kicks on, he ignores, darts one inboard, half volley to Federico. Nice tackle applied by Brody Paul. Yep. And the umpires are whistle happy early, Monty, for Corowa Tiles.
No, that one was there. The ball was about to pop out and Federico just dragged it back in. So I don't mind that one being paid.
So Brody Paul, the recipient of that free kick, he comes to the broadcast side. Christie, he marks right in front of our commentary position, wants to give the hand pass to O'Brien, who does so in the end. Got to a good position. Now he can lower his eyes inside forward 50. Kicks a drilling one to the pocket. McCartney not able to mark. Good defensive work there by young Ryan Batten. Gets a 1-2. The Magpies exit D50. Knowlesey's in trouble. McCartney wrapped him up, but Knowlesey did well. Will O'Keefe was crunched by Shag and Olin right in front of us. 75 out from the Rovers goal to be balled up.
Yeah, really positive start for Lockie O'Brien on the 40-wing stat sheet. 4 disposals in the opening 5.5 minutes for him as well. 5.5 gone for Maccas on O&M Live. Ball right in front of our broadcast position here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Great forward running by Tyler Norton. Now gets the ball onto Squid Melville. Inside 50. Ball needs to sit for Clark. Getting in the way was Tweedale. Ledger's got some work to do. Opts to leave it now for O'Brien. On the left boot, brings it out to the grandstand side. Catapan was fumbly, tapped to advantage. Murray wrapped up in a big Barrett tackle, but he got the handball out the back. Christie with some poise. Head over the football in a big contest was Catapan. Umpire's going to blow the whistle and we'll ball it up right in front of Scott Montgomery for Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, when that ball was in open play, a lot of tired boys out there already. It's quite warm at ground level, boys, so it'll be interesting to see how they can run out today.
A bit scrappy early here in this first term for A-grade oils and batteries on O&M Live. That's what you would expect. Still early April. Fraser Ellis gets a kick down the line. Hayden 1 against 2. Did well. Falls the way of Joel Smith. Good contest at ground level between Melville and Smith. And once again, we'll have another stoppage just between wing and half forward for the Wang Magpies. And I have to say, their forward line, when they are going forward, they have had opportunities. It looks very open as we hear that breeze through our effects mic. Barrett found a hand pass. Hewitt, his kick was smothered, gets it back from Melville. Here's Federico. Banana inside forward 50, a wobbly one. Falls away here at Jackson Clark. Picks it up to O'Keefe. He's up against the boundary. He's ripped down a big McQuaid tackle. Umpire says, give it to me. Tied up against the pocket, Dan Vaccaro.
It's been a really positive start for Wangaratta Magpies on the 40-wing stat sheet. 5 inside 50s for them. Jackson Clark, Federico and Melville all getting their hands on the footy early with 2 disposals each.
Still scoreless at the 7-minute mark as a kick from the contest goes a bit skew-if. We'll bring the football back into play 15 metres at the Evans Street end from the Magpies goal. Monty, thanks to our friends at Corabetta Electrical. Great to have them on board in 2025.
As you said, boys, been very, very scrappy, but I reckon the pressure's been fantastic. A bit like a final as we expect in these derbies, so it's going to be interesting to see with this hot weather who's going to be the first to crack and really slip up on their pressure rating.
First turn for A-grade oils and batteries. Into the ruck now is Laverty. Took it. Probably needs to get rid of it. Does so. Tied up in the pocket. Heatley. His first shot on goal is to the left-hand side for a minor score. So the deadlock's broken on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard. The Magpies one behind. The Rovers yet to score. 8 minutes gone for Maggers.
So the Rovers bring it in. It's Catapan, Slim Shady. He's gone full blonde and I really rate it. Goes out wide here to McQuaid.
Nearly matches your hairstyle.
Oh, McQuaid's kick's really poor. Here's a chance for Jackson Clark. He's going to run in and kick the opener in the derby. Something from nothing. And the Magpies are on the board. A poor kick across goals, and Clark, right place, right time, swooped.
Absolutely. Just that kick, when you're going to come back through, you've got to make sure that it's spot on, and the kick to O'Brien just fell a little bit short, and he wasn't clean below his knees, and just opened the door for Jackson Clark. We know how dangerous he is, and he was just too quick and got to the goal line before anyone else.
Yeah, fantastic start by Wangaratta Magpies. Really up for the fight, owning the territory battle. 5 inside 50s for them, but what they're doing is they're dominating in areas where they were good last year, Panda. The clearance count at the moment, 4 clearances around the ground compared to Rovers 1. So they're doing what they do best. They're winning it out of the centre, but their pressure going forward's been great.
Really struggling to get the ball past halfway at best. The Wangaratta Rovers. Kick goes forward by Alex Federico. Gets the ball to centre half forward. Inside 50 now go the Wangaratta Magpies. Nice work off the back of the pack, Catapan. Left foot kick evades a bit of pressure. Brings it out to the broadcast side wing. Throwing it on the boot. Bit of a skew-F kick there. It's going to go out of bounds on the full. A little bit uncharacteristic there from the Magpies. Jasper Craven, his first kick in Magpies colour.
Looks like he's playing in defence is Jasper. So the Rovers go short here to Catapan. The blonde hair right in front of Monty, sitting in front of that beautiful 2024 Rovers flag. Catapan kicks off a step. McCartney was caught behind, and here's Craven swooping on a loose ball. Left foot wobbler. It's nice. Finds Parker Heatley. Just too far out to score with this wind. So he kicks off a step. It's a beautiful kick into the pocket, just evading Xavier Laverty over to the boundary line. But gee whiz, Monty, the Magpies look very dangerous going inside forward 50.
They do, they're sharp, but it's got to tidy up that final kick going inside, and I reckon they'll have a lot more shots. Just those couple of landing a little bit short. I don't know if that breeze is holding the footy up and the forwards aren't reading it, or whether it's the skill level at the moment.
So the boundary throw in comes back into play, deep in the tack for the Magpies. Murray and Gotchling go head to head. O'Brien now on to Catapan on the left boot, exits D50, high up and under. Went through the mitts of Grossman. Now the ball spills out the back. Fraser Ellis handballs forward to Barrett. Normally a good kick. That was poor, commentator's curse. Melville, 55 from home, inside forward 50. It's inside a bit of space here. Chasing it, head over the football. Well done, Laverty. Evades one, throws it on the left, top of the goal square. Rovers have numbers. Catapan marks in the last line of defence. Chips out to the pocket.
I wonder if we're going to see a crack down on 15-metre passes in the O&M, just like the AFL. Murray's kick was awful. Exiting defence, a genuine floater. McCartney under pressure, hand pass it to Charlie Thompson. First time we've called his name today. Kicks to half forward. Cooper up against Tilly. This is a good matchup. Cooper just keeps the ball in front of him, paddles it in front of him, dribbles it from the pocket. It's across the face of goal. It stays in play. First there for the Rovers is Dylan Wilson. In fact, it's Stewie Booth, tries to keep it in. Umpire says you went out of bounds. And And that was a bit of a kick across goal from a bloke who's played a lot of defence, I think, in Nathan Cooper. Boundary throw in, 15 around from the Rovers goal.
Yeah, we got a rare inside 50 for Rovers, so 3 inside 50s for them on the 40-wing stat sheet, but Wangaratta Magpies dominating the territory battle, and they're up to 8 inside 50s.
Around the grounds, thanks to Evolution Roofing in the AFL. Adelaide 34, the Gold Coast Suns 25.
Game of the round, who would have thought?
9 minutes to go in the second term there, and 12 minutes gone in the opener for Maccas here at the WJ Finlay Oval. Tilly, his hands on the footy. Now Clark, tied up in the pocket are the Wangaratta Magpies. Got some work to do as Batten over the top. Finds his way to Harry Hewitt now, wearing jersey number 5. As O'Keefe, who's been busy early, Monty, thanks to Corolla Tiles.
Yeah, they're trying to use him because he's got Ellison on him, so they're trying to make sure that he has to be accountable and can't play his normal role where he's the outlet kick. So he's doing a good job at the moment, O'Keefe.
Looks like Harry Hewitt's been in the gym as well this off-season, put on a bit of size, the youngster. Here's Thompson, clearance for the Rovers, playing in front of Stewie Booth, and he has the distance from here with this wind. It fall into his lap, and Stewie Booth will line up from 45 out, 45-degree angle.
And we know how good a start of the year Stewie Booth had last year. He was one of the leading goal kickers for a long time for the Wangaratta Rovers and normally takes his opportunities.
So Stewie Booth, kick looks really good. Absolutely flushes it from Stewie Booth. And the Rovers are on the board for season 2025. They've just got the ball in their hands in the last couple of minutes, and they go to 1 straight 6. The Magpies 1-1-7 on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard.
Yeah, what a start. And I guess Wangaratta Magpies have had the dominating sort of opening 10 minutes, but that was quality over quantity there. Only their 4th inside 50 Rovers. And as you said, Panda, Stewie Booth absolutely flushed it. The ball winners for Rovers, Lockie O'Brien's been really prominent. He's up to 6 disposals. Sam Murray, as usual, has been up to 5. And Catapan and Philo getting involved as well with 3 each.
Monty, we need to keep an eye on what these rotations look like for the Rovers. They are having some different looks with midfielders going forward, one of whom is Murray, who evades the centre contest, kicking inside 50. Trailing this one is Big Cooper, gets there now. And seeing it across the chalk is Jasper Craven, out of bounds for a boundary, throwing 30 metres from Rovers goal, Monty.
Yeah, it looks like there's a 3-way swap through the middle and then off the ground. So one off on the bench, one on the mids and one forward. And I think Sam and Philo are part of McCarthy.
And Sam Murray called this in pre-season. Watch Nathan Cooper do a little bit of rucking, especially when it's forward. He was the sole ruckman there. Tilly out of defence for the Magpies, kicks down the line. O'Keefe got rid of Shag and Olin. Now McCarthy's got a bit of work to do. Spills the way here of Matt Hayden. Has to retreat back to O'Keefe, and he's tackled over the boundary line very safely. Just placed him in the end, did Sam Catapan. And we'll have a ball up just forward to centre here, favouring the Wangaratta Rovers. We've played 14 minutes for NZ. First term for A-grade Alls and Batteries on O&M Live. Start of 2025. Here's Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Great to have the Northo on board.
Absolutely.
We like having a local down here in Wangaratta. Ball in front of our broadcast position. Kicking on the boot was Hewitt. Not his best kick, but it's a bit of a chaos ball. Well done, O'Keefe. Met the contest head on. Big crunching tackle applied by Hayden. Looks to be one of the youngsters on debut. A bit slow to get up there. Might have been Brodie Paul in the end. Former thirds captain of the Rovers, getting a taste at senior level. Clark feeds one out to Hewitt. On the right, kicks long down the line. Ledger sits back in the hole. He's happy to see it across the boundary line. We'll go to Dan Vaccaro to get some 40-wing stats on O&M Live.
Yeah, the contest, I guess, is just starting to settle a little bit. Wangaratta Magpies still dominating the territory. 8 inside 50s to Wangaratta Rovers, only the 5. And Jackson Clark, 5 disposals and 1 goal on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Looking at Monty down there, sitting in the sun, getting a little bit of tan on those legs. There's a bit of SPF 50 on pretty quick. Murray kicks down the line. Playing in front there was Nathan Cooper. Does well at ground level. Kicks a snap around the corner. Trickles it to half forward. Here's Cleland on debut. His first little chance near the pill until he just safely sees it over the boundary line. So the ball just hogging our broadcast side here. They'll have it thrown back in. 65 around from the Wangaratta Rovers goal, who have only kicked the 1 goal through Booth, and the Magpies have kicked the 1 goal through Jackson Clark. Thrown back in. Knowles and Cooper. There's Thompson starting to work into the contest. Philo off a step, left foot kick, wobbler inside 50. Cleland on debut, the youngster read the fall of the ball beautifully, and the young man will line up for his first shot in senior footy directly in front.
Doesn't always have to be the pretty play, does it? Just a quick snap out of that contest, and Cleland the first one onto it. Just a little bit too quick for his Magpies opponent there, and should go back here. Only 25-30 out, straight in front.
60 goals, leading goal kicker in the McRae Cup for the thirds last year. They keep producing young gems to the Wangaratta Rovers. Originally from Mansfield, this young man. 45 out directly in front. He has nailed it. Look at him get to young Oscar. That's what you love to see in the Ovens and Murray. And the Rovers hit the front by 5 points. 2 straight 12. The Magpies 1-1-7 on the game traffic and contracting scoreboard.
What a really good period for Rovers here the last few minutes. And the thing is, their forward 50s now are starting to get up there. 6 inside 50s. But what they are, they've taken marks inside 50. 2 marks for them going forward. Wangaratta still yet to take one inside their forward 50. Sam Murray, he's up to 7 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. Lockie O'Brien's had the 6, so the big names are getting involved. Catapan and the man that's playing his 500th game, Brody Philo. You saw the clearance there, and just a really quick snap and a mark by Cleland. And it's a good period for Rovers.
So they hit the front for the first time, the Rovers. 12 plays 7 thanks to game traffic and contracting. Philo at the back of the contest, projects the ball forward via hand. Murray in a foot race with Norton, who's been pretty good early days. Might have put the Mozza on him. Handball over the top, finds its way to Lewis. Inside 50, looking for Big Ed. Good spoil. Coming in late was Grossman. Got the ball out of bounds. And Big Ed Damien is a scary sight leading out of the forward line, Monty. You wouldn't want to run into him at pace.
No, definitely not. He's a big unit, isn't he? And he's staying deep. So I have heard a little whisper he's a little bit injured from one of the practice matches. So whether that's holding him back a little bit.
I'm hearing ribs. Monty is my mail, so hope he doesn't get tickled there today. Cooper in the ruck. Ball just pinballs around. Big tackle applied. Umpire Mason Ring says we'll ball it up. 25 from home. The Rovers kicking to the bar reserve end with what Monty described as a 4-goal breeze. Head over the football was Federico, won the tap, and he kicked long down the line out to the showground side. And a nice spoil from Jakes McQuaid, who has had a bit of a no-frills haircut this year, Monty. He's gone for the number 1 all over. Low maintenance from our man Jakes.
Just how he plays his footy, no frills, just gets it job done, doesn't he?
Geez, he had a good end of the year last year, keeping the Doug Strang medalist goalless in the prelim and Lee Williams to 1 in the grand final. Here come the Magpies through Hewitt. Kicks a long one into an open 50. Heatley tussling with Ledger. Falls away a squid Melville. He ran into traffic. Heatley's going to want his left foot here. Got tackled. Nolan did well. The Rovers calmly win it back in defence. McCarthy retreats to Allison, the new captain, deep in his right back pocket. He goes out to the showground side. Good kick, finds Murray. Wants to get onto his left. Goes short here to Dylan Stone. He's got a bit of grass in front of him. Kicks to half forward. Cooper! Oh, dropped an easy mark in the end. Falls to ground level. The Rovers apply pressure. Cooper is not happy with himself. Monty, ball up inside attack.
Someone of his experience and talent you'd think would just chew that one and go back and put it through.
So ball up. 50 metres out from the Rovers' goal. Christie did some good work at the ruck contest. Ball pinballs around now. Jasper Craven, I reckon he's in trouble.
Yep.
Incorrect disposal. Free kick holding the ball in a dangerous spot here for the Rovers. So the ball's in the hands of McCarthy, who looks quite slim this year. He looks lean. Inside 50, trying to find Cooper. Brought it front and centre. He's got the fumbles early in his new role. Maybe if he punches it, he'll make some good connection, like a big full back. Inside 50, Cleland got some work to do. Handball in towards a bit of space. Craven mops up for the Magpies. At full back, it's Aidan Tilley out towards the broadcast side wing. 2 are over the top. Got to be clean here, the Magpies. They're hunting the boundary line, and they get there. We'll ball the ball back in at the junction of the boundary line and the 50-metre arc.
Very slow to get up, Harry Smart, after that tackle.
Hit his head on the ground, Monty. He looks to be in a bit of strife here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in a real bad
I'd like him
way.
to stop this game.
Yeah, stop the game here, boys. Umpire Mason Ring is chatting to the players. Jackson Clark, the new co-captain's asking him to stop the game. In the care of the trainers and the run-up.
There wasn't really anything in that tackle, to be honest.
It was a footy act, Panda.
It was momentum, wasn't it, Monty, from behind?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those ones, once the arms are pinned, it's a bit hard to sort of, protect the player that you're tackling.
So this happened about 30 seconds ago. We'll monitor this for some time on purposes.
He won't play anymore.
No, he won't be coming back.
They'll rule him out with the HIA rule, Monty. We'll get you to keep tabs on him. Hopefully the umpires can recognise the danger here, because the play's only about 10 metres from the boundary. So hopefully they let him walk off the ground and just do the right thing here. We know how important head injuries are, Monty, and the repercussions if you get them wrong as a medical staff. So the HIA protocols will come into play, and that could be a big rotation loss, especially when the weather's quite warm. Harry Smart comes the way to the boundary, Monty.
Yeah, and he's just pushed away the trainer and the runner. That's obviously a bit of a sign that he's not too bad, but yeah, he doesn't quite know where he's going, boys. He's getting dragged along now because he was starting to run off the ground a bit early. So, yeah, I think he's done.
Panda's going to have a look at the replay on the Northo Hotel replay.
Yeah, no, there wasn't really too much in it, Gussie. It was a tackle from behind and unfortunately got his arm pinned.
Knowles kicks out a D50 for the Magpies. Got a little fingertip on it and it's out of bounds right in front of our broadcast position. The Rovers 2 straight. The Magpies 1-1. That's thanks to Game Traffic and Contracting. Call 1-800-GET-GAME.
Yeah, they've really flicked the switch here. Rovers 10 inside 50s to Wangaratta's 9. So really coming back into the contest well here.
So boundary throw in and a good strong tackle applied by Christie on Federico. And we have another ball up, camped in between wing and half forward here for the Rovers. Well done by Stone, onto Murray, left foot kick into the pocket, dangerous position, Big Ed out the back, not able to mark. Who's going to be first there? Cleland. Oh, good tackle on Grossman. Murray wanted holding the ball.
There's McCartney.
Good pressure from the youngster, and we have a minor score for the Wangaratta Rovers, who moved to 2-1-13 to the Magpies 1-1-7 on the Game Traffic and Contracting scoreboard. First term for A-grade oils and batteries here on O&M Live on 2AY and on Edge FM.
Barrett from fullback brought it out towards the halfback flank. Now Melville's going to break away as he gets towards centre wing. Takes 2 bounces, kicks inside or towards the forward line. Nice looking kick. Big Laverty. 55 from home. Goes to the runner in Richards. Richards from 45. Winds up, kicks on goal, and it's to the left for a minor score. The best bit of play I reckon we've seen for the whole game, Scott Montgomery. A really nice passage.
Absolutely. Really, really good play from full-back to full forward. But if Laverty had have spun the other way, he had a couple of open plays in Hayden and Parker Heatley running back towards goal on his right-hand side. 23
minutes gone. First term for NZ. Blake Penderescott with you and Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel. Hewitt dropped a sitter in the slips on centre wing. Jams it on the boot, trickles inside 50. Clark taps it to himself. He can run all the way and kick a Sunjan goal today. Brilliant finish from Jackson Clark. Full steam ahead, running inside forward 50. He's got 2, and the Magpies hit the lead by a point.
Just so classy. What a finish. We know how good he is. We've spoken about it. How much time will he spend forward? He's already shown being their sole goal kicker, how important he'll be forward.
What was my call before the game,
5,
everyone?
I reckon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And everyone laughed at me. I got
Pretty
to
like
two.
a Cheshire cat, Dan.
He has started very well. Jackson Clark, 6 disposals for him, 2 big sausage rolls as well for him. Alex Federico, Brad Melville, you saw that run on that really good play earlier that Gus mentioned. He's been good with 5 disposals as well. So a really good comeback for Wangaratta, and it's a really even game at the moment. 11 inside 50s apiece.
1 point ball game, hey? 2-2 to 2-1. The Magpies lead the Rovers in a really exciting last 5 minutes of footy here in the A-grade oils and batteries first term. The season opener, the Rovers and the Magpies. The Rovers have possession via Allison. The handball was poor. Richards lurks out the back. Umpires found a free kick. It's going to go the way to the brown and gold.
Too high.
And Will Christie will be the recipient off the back of the centre square. Philo, game number 500 today, kicks out wide. A well-weighted kick as the Rovers are going to play the showground side. Turnover. Fraser Ellis marks out in front, and he's going to stop and assess his options at the 24.5-minute mark for Maccas.
Like the red boots from Fraser. Goes short, finds a target here in Squid Melville. He goes short, beautiful kick to a man that looks very much like him as well. And that's Alex Federico. Kicks long to the top of the goal square. Clark, he's dangerous up against Ledger. Ball spills to the ground. This is where Clark can go to work as well. Ledger wrapped him up. And we have a ball up 15 metres out for the Magpies goal. But Monty for Cora Tiles. Jackson Clark looking dangerous forward.
He is. When he's one-on-one, he's very hard to beat. And you see a really good job there from Ledger. Was able to this body hold on to it. So really he's just going to have to be on here as Clark goes in the ruck.
Done it, Robbie.
Well done, Robbie.
10 metres out from goal.
How many times was it last week? 4 or 5?
4 in the first game.
Every single break.
Yep, 4.
Well, I'll get my one and done out of the road here. Still pinballing around. Got a bit of work to do. To the Rovers. Allison. Out to McCarthy. Now Philo finds some space. He goes to barrel. Oh, he goes to torpedo punt. That would have gone at least 60 from Brody. Long down the line he went. Dylan Wilson's in pursuit. Gets a nice bounce. Well-weighted handball. Trying to find Charlie Thompson. Boom recruit gets his hands on the footy. Kicks to a top of the goal square. 2-on-1 contest. Bouncing, goal! Why kick it to a teammate when you can go all the way yourself? It's a goal of the day thanks to our good friends at Steel Line and Charlie Thompson. Welcome back to the WJ Finlay Oval.
How about that kick from Philo? It really set him up. Went from inside defensive 50 to the half-forward flank, and then they're able to go from there. And Thompson, really good finish. He's working his backside off here so far, Charlie Thompson, to start this game.
It's a really good game. Both teams are having their really good periods. Like we saw Wangaratta have that 3-minute period there where they look good moving the ball forward, and then Wangaratta Rovers as well. So super even contest. 12 inside 50s apiece from both teams. The leading ball winners, Sam Murray, has 10 on the 40-wing stat sheet. And from Wangaratta, Jackson Clark 6 and 2, and Brad Melville 6.
So we're underway here in the Wangaratta Derby. Great start to this ball game. It's come to life in the last 5 or so minutes. And Charlie Thompson just with raw pace. And Sam Catapan looks a little bit wary in the middle of the ground too, Monty. Slow to get up.
Gotchling, he went to tackle Gotchling. He just might have caught one maybe where you don't want to cop one.
And Murray has just put down Will O'Keefe. He just looks like that type, does Will O'Keefe, the Jillamatong Lamb man.
What are you saying, Panda?
He just looks like he gets in the face of opposition, and I rate it highly.
Got in my face at APCO one night. Wasn't overly happy with that.
What were you there at APCO? We'll come back to that later. O'Keefe into the pocket. Heatley tried to climb the mountain. Clark in a dangerous spot again. Allison shovels it back to Catapan, and the Rovers calmly in defence. To McCarthy, who just clears the lines. Long one down the line. Barrett got 2 hands to it. Thompson has him. Did he grab him without the ball? Umpire says no. Wilson came through like a steam train. Hand pass it up in the air to Hewitt, who tries to go back inside forward 50 for the Magpies. First here is young Noah Schulte on debut for the Rovers. Allison, like a good, mature skipper, goes short out wide to O'Brien, and the Rovers can go forward late here in the first term.
Trying to kick down in the booth direction, and a nice fist coming through. Looks like the old-timer Michael Bordignong, who's got the captaincy this year, Monty, thanks to Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, both teams with new co-captains, so something we haven't seen. 2 new co-captains for both sides.
Monty, tell us about this bloke running to the bench. He looks fit as I've ever seen him, Alex McCarthy.
Yeah, and we saw last year, he just stands up in big games and he does look fit, and he's been playing through the middle and on the wing so far today.
Quarter time here at the Wangaratta Derby as the siren sounds. Thank goodness that game opened up towards the back end of the quarter. It was a bit stagnant the kick start. For A-grade oils and batteries, the Rovers lead at quarter time, 3-1-19 to the Rovers 2-2-14 on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals. celebrating lives.
There's a hole, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
Then live on 2AY.
Welcome back to the Wangaratta Derby here on O&M Live. Our season opener sees the Rovers 3-1-19 to the Magpies 2-2-14 at quarter time. For the quarter's best, thanks to our friends at Albury Vital Air, now in Wangaratta. You can catch the boys at Albury Vital Air at 49 Roy Street here in Wangaratta, helping you breathe easier night and day. Dan Vaccaro, the Albury's Vital Air quarter's best.
Yeah, the quarter's best for Rovers. There was a couple of players that you give it to. Thought Sam Murray was really good. He had 11 disposals. Lockie O'Brien to start that quarter was fantastic with his 7 as well. I thought he was prominent through the midfield. And for Wangaratta, the quarter's best, Jackson Clark, 6 disposals, 2 goals. I called it before the game. He's going to kick a bag today, and I still believe it. He was fantastic on the 40-wing stat sheet that quarter, Gus.
The wind is starting to pick up here severely. As we take this opportunity to cross boundary side, Scott Montgomery, thanks to Corowa Electrical and Corowa Better. What's happening at ground level, Monty? That wind picking up as much as we think it is?
It's probably about what we started at. I think it died out during that first quarter for patches, but yeah, it's probably still that 4 or 5 goal breeze, I reckon, heading towards the bar reserve end. Had a bit of a listen to both coaches and a couple of the groups, listen to the midfields for both groups. Really happy with the way they were able to chain up through the middle of the ground, especially on the Wangaratta side, whereas the Rovers thought they probably just let themselves down with disposal and a little bit sloppy around the ground. Just need to tidy that up, and they feel they'll be able to go end-to-end a lot easier.
Big hello to Belinda, who's watching on O&M Snapprint Solutions TV on YouTube. Dan, to the call on 201 on Edge FM. Hello from a Carnival cruise heading back to Sydney.
There you go.
O&M Live is global and trending. Dan Vaccaro.
It is very much so. You always hear people that are overseas having a holiday or up north on the beach. And I know Mum and Dad are up in the beach at Gold Coast at the moment.
Right.
They're listening in as well.
Is the list trending?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
If Mara's away on the Gold Coast, who's doing your washing?
Who's doing his cooking?
It's a big
What
lie.
about your cooking?
It's a big lie. I do my own washing, I do
You
my own
do
cooking.
not.
I'm very independent.
Don't
Monty,
lie.
any key messages from the coaches at the break?
No, as I said, listened to both midfields and then sort of got distracted talking to a couple of Cora boys actually, and Cam Wilson as well floating around. But I did listen to the midfield groups, and they both were pretty happy with the way they were able to link up.
Round the grounds for Evolution Roofing in the AFL. Gold Coast 39 to Adelaide 40, so it's a 1-point ball game in that game. Game of the round. And it looks like Big Thilthorpe, the thrill seeker, he's got a couple of goals for the Crows.
And you boys look really relaxed this weekend. Essendon have the bye, so
Absolutely.
that's really positive.
They could still lose that.
I think we'll sing the song this week. The Bombers, big second term for JK Albury-Wodonga coming up. Wonder which team can make the most of the wins here.
Norton with Murray again at this centre clearance.
Federico on Thompson's a nice matchup, as is Clark on Philo.
I think the crowd's built a little bit more than 500, Monty.
I'll give it 550.
1,100 now.
I'd say about 1,000, I reckon.
Oh.
So the umpire holds the Sherrin aloft for JK Albury-Wodonga. It's the second term of the Wang Derby season opener.
Knowles and Christie. give that one to no one. Knowlesy almost hit himself in the head. Federico, his left foot kick has been intercepted by Murray, who's going to pump it long into the wind. Well done, playing in front, Grossman, in front of big Ed Damon. And he plays on straight away to Grossman, and Damon had no chase whatsoever. Great mark there by Laverty, playing out in front on McQuaid, and you don't outmark Jace McQuaid very often. Wheels onto the left, into a pocket of space. Going the double fister there was Ledger. Clears defensive 50 for the Rovers. Stone on hands and knees. Finds Murray with a turn of speed. Bullet left foot kick looking for McCartney. Well done Boardington, who punches it over the boundary line. Showground side, centre wing, right next to the scoreboard, which reads 3-1-19 the Rovers, the Magpies 2-2-14 for CMV Truck and Bus.
Spoke about in the first quarter about that Damon injury out of a practice match. I feel he must be carrying something, boys. The lack of effort to get up the ground then is, not a great sign.
And he hasn't done any ruck work, even when the ball's been inside their forward.
Nah, Cooper has also gone on the ruck for a couple of times up the ground as well.
Ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. Kiwa, a strong lead over Yakandanda, 32-3, and Beechworth have a 10-point lead over Chiltern at quarter time in the TDFL. 19 plays 14 here, the Rovers over the Magpies. Jackson Clark applied a tackle, which I thought was high. The umpire had a better spot and he said it was fair. We'll ball it up 55 from Wangaratta Magpies goal. Christie and Knowles in the ruck. Give it to Christie now. Murray on the trusty left. Opts for distance and kicks long down the line. Cooper made a contest. Philo comes through. Left it behind in the end. Feeds the ball back out to Stone. Thompson. Nice core strength back to Murray. O'Brien on the left. Hugs the boundary line. One-on-one contest. And Michael Boardington, Mr. Reliable, gets a crucial fist out of bounds for a boundary throw-in, true centre wing, showground side.
Yeah, we've been playing 1.5 minutes and Sam Murray's had 4 disposals this quarter already, 15 for the game on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, he's brought his own pill and just picked up right where he left off on grand final day last year. Philo from the clearance. Evades traffic, gets a hand pass. Likewise, Allison with a little goose step. Shovels it back towards Stone. He goes wide to Murray. Tied up against the boundary line. Fakes one way. Comes onto his left foot. Kick finds Dylan Wilson. Just too far out to score. 55 from home. Oh, balks around one. Checks his kick at the last minute. Brilliant Mawson concrete play of the day. And finds Nathan Cooper on a searching lead directly in front, 30 out.
2 things from Dylan Wilson there. Just read the ball better than everyone else to take that mark. And then really good sidestep and a great use to find Cooper on a lead. That's why he's one of the better mid-small forwards, I think, in the competition, Dylan Wilson.
Saw 4 sidesteps in that chain then, from Murray, from Allison and from Wilson. And now Nathan Cooper, in his one and only O&M game last year, he kicked a bag of 6.
Who was that against? North?
It was against North Albury, who he plays next week. So Cooper comes in directly in front, makes no mistake. He's got his first for the Rovers in 2025. This is the boy from Werribee. And the Rovers with 2 on the trot now extend their lead to 11 points. 4-1-25 to the Magpies, 2-2-14. Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Once it's settled after that first 10 minutes, it's been a really interesting watch and just a moment of appreciation for Xavier Allison. He's a fantastic footballer, one of the premier halfbacks in the league. He was fantastic in that really good play there by Wangaratta Rovers. 2 inside 50s early for them, and Sam Murray leading the charge with 16 disposals already on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Game high lead of 11 points here to the Wangaratta Rovers. Kicking against the breeze. 4-1-25, plays 2-2-14 for CMV Truck and Bus. Back in the middle, Brody Philo evades the pressure, kicks inside forward 50, big contest. Well done by Cam Barrett. Crumbed it beautifully but got wrapped up in big tackles. And will ball it up tight in the pocket about 10 metres from the boundary.
Vintage Brody Philo then, 9 disposals for him on the 40-wing stat sheet.
4 minutes gone for Maccas here in the second term, season opener between these two arch enemies. Murray evades one, handballs backwards. Thompson, gee, you won't want to look at that one again. Straight off the side of the boot and into the can bar, Monty.
Yeah, not his best, and the career savers definitely didn't help with them.
Not at all. The man who dominated for Perth in the waffle last year. So the Magpies going to try and bring this one out of defence. Grossman, interesting kick onto the chest of the man that's kicked 2, Jackson Clark, and then he got his head ripped off by Catapan, who helps him up and says, sorry, Jackson. And he says, no worries, Sam. Modern football. How many for Clark now, Dan Vaccaro?
Jackson Clark's had 7 disposals and 2 goals on the 40-wing stat sheet.
He finds Federico, who chips towards the man making his debut. Jasper Craven, famous name for the Wangaratta Magpies. His old man, Danny, Played 50-odd games of AFL and was a champion of the Magpies. Goes down the line. Federico tried to climb high, dropped the mark in the end. Brodie Paul went by hand to McCarthy, who's playing in defence today. Pops it over the top to Thompson, on to Murray. He goes out wide and finds Catapan right in front of the scoreboard. 25 plays 14 for CMV Truck and Bus Rovers lead.
Yeah, Sam Murray leading the way, 18 disposals for him on the 40-wing stat sheet, playing some really good footy. And that man there, I believe, Lockie O'Brien, he's been good as well. He has had the 9 disposals.
We'll put O'Brien down for another. And Sam Murray, as he has Sharon in hand once again, wants to sell a bit of candy and break away with some pace. Inboard trying to find Christie. It's going to pay off. Bit of a mismatch there on Melville.
He's doing what he wants.
Yeah, Murray, another 40 wings disposal out to McCarthy. On our broadcast side wing, the clubroom side, kicks to Nolan, who's working his way forward. Nice passage of play from the Rovers. Little chip kick over the top. Lewis, 55 from home, sells a bit of candy. Wilson evades one, throws on the boot, brings it back beautifully. Steel line goal today, and a Mawson's concrete play today. All bundled up into one from the Wangaratta Rovers. Dylan Wilson finished the job beautifully. And it's back-to-back goals for the Rovers to kickstart the second.
All started with Sam Murray being able to change the line of the footy, bring it through the middle, got the handball receive, and they come out to this other wing, and then they go inside 50. And Dylan Wilson just doing what he wants down there. He's a magician around goals.
Yeah, you're spot on, Monty. Sam Murray is literally doing what he wants. We've played a quarter and 6 minutes, and he's had 20 disposals. So he has literally got the ball on the string. Rovers playing some good footy. 4 inside 50s to Wangaratta Magpies, 1 on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Some headaches for the Wangaratta Magpie coaches, because if you allow Sam Murray to just do what he wants, he will take the piss. And that's what he's doing right now.
Well, they're trying to run with him, and they just can't.
Christie, hand passes to Thompson, and here they go again, the Rovers. On the left foot, inside forward 50. McCartney playing in front. Almost climbing him, was boarding on. Spills away at Craven, who's had some good moments today on debut. The Magpies, by hand, Tweedale onto Hewitt, who jams a torpedo punt on the boot. It's a bit of a wobbler towards Clark. Over his head, here's Heatley. He's been quiet on debut. He's in trouble now, swung around the tackle, found a hand pass Clark. He popped one over the top to Melville. Here's Squid, runs to 45 and answers back for the Magpies. All the class combining, Clark, Heatley and Melville. Great to see Squid back after missing so much footy, and the Magpies trim the margin to 11.
A lot scrappier going inside 50 for Wangaratta there than what we've seen from the Rovers, but they're able to get on the end of it, and Brad Melville, such a beautiful kick for goal and put someone straight through.
I can't help but think that they're going to have to rely on those stalwarts at Wangaratta today. Your players like Melville, Clark that have been really good. Federico's been good as well, so good reply there by Wang, but Wangaratta Rovers still dominating the contest thus far. 4 inside 50, 16 for the game. Plays Wangaratta Magpies 13.
A really good finish from Squid Melville. Geez, exciting to watch when he gets going. And as Panda beautifully called, great to have him back, playing some really impressive football for the Wangaratta Magpies. 11-point lead. It's the Rovers over the Magpies on O&M Live, thanks to A-grade oils and batteries and Jayco Albury-Wodonga. They kicked it towards centre half forward, do the Magpies. Nolan got a fingertip on it. O'Brien's got some work to do. O'Keefe's hot on his heels. Clever from O'Brien, just puts the ball down the line. Nice little toe poke from Ellis. Inboard to Laverty. Melville got a nice bounce on his non-preferred. Finds the right now with a dribbler inside 50. Breaking through the lines was Clark. Did Ellis get taken high? He fed it back to Melville, who I think is going to kick on the full. The umpire's going to say it was
on the full.
On the full. So it's going to be a free kick to the Rovers. Tied up in the back pocket. Looks like Brodie Paul has Sharon in hand. And he's going to switch across the line, Panda.
He does. And here's Dylan Stone, deep in his own defensive back pocket, who played on and then gave it off to Catapan, who provided an option. Left foot kick down the line. Not able to mark was his teammate. 2 intercepts for the Magpies. That was a worm burner. Gets it back with a 1-2. Kicks it on the boot hurriedly inside forward 50. Craven has to sit. So does Federico. And he kicks the drop punt towards goal for a minor score. 3-3 the Magpies. The Rovers 5-1. Margin back to 10 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We played 9 minutes for NZ. Dan Vaccaro, what have you got for us, 40 winks?
Yeah, it's been a really even quarter. I guess Wangaratta came out of the blocks, but 4 inside 50s for Rovers, 3 for them, and Sam Murray, 9 disposals this quarter, 20 for the game.
Almost 10 minutes gone for Maccas as O'Brien kicks from fullback. Getting a fingertip on that was Looks like big Eddie Damon's worked his way up the ground there a little bit. We'll go boundary side. Scott Montgomery for Corowa, Better Electrical.
Yeah, a lot of rotations going on down here at the moment. Obviously, quite warm out there in first game. Always gets the lungs tested early on, so a lot of rotations.
So boundary throw in between centre wing and half forward for the Magpies. Catapan left it behind, so Murray could get another 40 winks disposal. He missed Philo by hand. Federico came through and absorbing him in a big tackle was Sam Murray, who's got rather long locks to start 2025. Might have been a free kick there inside 50 as Clark had a case of the fumbles. Brought it front and centre, needs a crummer. He can crumb it himself here. Murray gets his hands on the footy. Handballs to space. Brody Philo on the left. The non-preferred, which is equally as good as his preferred. Kicks long down the line. Contest. Well done, Damon. Kept the ball alive. And the ball's going to be in dispute and wrapped up. And the umpire's going to call for it. True centre wing, showground side.
Damon just looks a little bit slow. He just sort of backed out of that contest just a little bit, and slow to evade the contest there was Damon. Catapan shovels it backwards to Philo, right in front of the scoreboard, gets around the big ruckman Tweedo with ease. Left foot kick to half forward. Big pack of players. Barrett went the double fister. McCartney went without it at ground level. Applied the tackle on Barrett, and we will have a ball up 65 around from the Rovers goal. Monty, Damon just doesn't look himself, does he?
No, definitely not. And Christie tried to call him into a ruck contest that last one, and he didn't want to go.
Christie grabs it out of the ruck, then need it. Federico shovels it back, getting busy. Grossman under pressure, kicks a long one down the line. Far side of the ground. McQuaid and Clark both tried to mark it. Roving it beautifully was big Matty Hayden. Kicks it inside forward 50. Heatley! Beautiful kick to the advantage from Hayden. And Parker Heatley can finish off for Mawson's concrete play of the day for the Magpies and line up for his first for the black and white.
They look dangerous when they get in an open play, the Wangaratta Magpies there. Just an open forward line. Heatley had all the space to move into. And Matty Hayden, great finish going inside 50. Going to need to see that a bit more often for them.
Leading goal kicker for North Heidelberg last year in the Northern Footy League was 60. This will please his old man, who's also the coach, to trim the margin back to 4 points. Parker Heatley. He's a lovely left foot kick, comes in and hits the stick. Minor score, that's 2 points for Parker. Margin back to 9 for CMV Truck and Bus. Gus McLeod for the Northo. We've played 12 and a half minutes.
Monty, it looks as if both sides have struggled to adapt when they're kicking with the breeze.
Yeah, I think they're just playing a little bit too up the ground. They need to just stretch the ground out, make it nice and long with that breeze.
Allison kicks in from fullback and finds an option tied up in the pocket. Joel Smith. Umpire calls him to play on. Kicks long down the line, showground side. Cooper made a contest. Front and centre was Gotchling. He's been quiet by his standards. Inside 50 goes Clark for the Magpies. Heatley on the half volley made a really good contest and a good go of it. Melville's resting forward. Head over the football as the Rovers have numbers. Murray's brought his own Sharon today. What's his numbers for 40 winks, Dan?
23 disposals.
But his kick was a little bit off the mark. The big ruckman Knowlesy in the hole, kicking inside 50. Cooper lends a hand in defence. Incorrect disposal. Umpire let it play. O'Keefe head over the football. Now a snap on goal from Harry Hewitt. Relentless pressure results in a goal for the Magpies. They've kicked 2 in a row here, Monty, and they're starting to find their way in the second.
Absolutely. When you're kicking with the breeze, you want to make sure you kick a couple in a row. That big mark there from Knowles was important to make sure they kept it inside their forward half and able to go again. And great finish from Harry Hewitt, who's looking nice and lean at the moment, and I reckon he's going to have a big year.
What a period by Wangaratta Magpies. I thought Rovers were going to start to really put their authority on this contest, but Wangaratta Magpies have come back really well. And as we mentioned, Sam Murray for Rovers, he's had 23 disposals. He has been unbelievable in this contest.
A lot of fantasy points there for Sam Murray. Shame we're not playing this week.
I was waiting for the first O&M fantasy mention.
Who got him?
Well, Ben Tallarico in the WhatsApp group. He said Jackson Clark looking at a 100-point first quarter. He's probably not far off. Back in the middle, what a derby we have here again between these two arch rivals as Knowlesy, who attributed a lot to that last goal, kicks inside forward 50 and sliding on his knees and taking the mark was Xavier Laverty, and he is someone who will have the distance from about 55 out on a 45-degree angle.
As Fraser Ellis tries to get the cheap one around the back, but yeah, Laverty, as you said, he will just put this one out towards the right-hand goal post, and the breeze should do enough for him. But just when they're winning out of the middle, either side, it looks like they're so much more dangerous and their forwards have so much more space to work into.
How much is the wind going to take this footy, Monty? Is it 10 metres, 15 metres?
Nah, probably not. Oh, you mean distance-wise? Yeah, probably 10.
So let's see how Xavier goes when he sinks the slipper into it. He'll kick this from 52, 53 metres. Leans back on the left. He starts it out to the right. Draws back beautifully like Rory McIlroy, but not far enough. And it's through for a minor score. 4-5-29 the Magpies. They trail by 2 points. 5-1-31 the Rovers on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We played 15 for Maccas in the second quarter.
Poor kick from full back there. And the ball's going to go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. We've got a Dan Vaccaro, some 40 wing stats.
Yeah, as you just mentioned there, Lockie O'Brien, he made a bit of a blunder there, but he has had 12 disposals. Been solid early on for Rovers on the 40 wing stat sheet.
Second term for Jaco Albury-Wodonga. Got the biggest and best display at this year's Border Caravan and Camping Leisure Fest.
The shed yesterday was huge.
No, it is still huge today, Panda. Murray, another 40 wings disposal, goes to Catapan, feeds the ball back to O'Brien. The big 4 or 5 are linking up here for the Rovers.
Out of bounds.
Ball went out of bounds. It'll come back to probably the junction of 50 in the boundary line, I'd say here, boys.
Tell you what, there are a few people outside that fence who are doing the Tony Chompers Jones, not paying entry and just looking from outside. I'm telling you right now.
Throwing Chompers under the bus.
They might be at the Bushies game, Panda. Not much action at the Norm Minns. I reckon they're done over there. But we can lend them $12 if they're short on $1.
Come straight out of your wage, Gussie.
Give them the pass.
So Knowles taps it to the advantage of a teammate. Craven's done okay, but not on that occasion. Caught holding the ball. Catapan with a free kick for the Rovers at half-back, who are doing a lot of defending at the moment, Monty. The Magpies are owning this second quarter for Jaco.
Yeah, absolutely. Last 5 minutes, they definitely are. I think the start of the quarter was probably the Rovers, but yeah, Wang just really grinding their way back into it.
Cooper, like a good full forward, leading up, reading the fall of the ball. Goes long towards half forward. Stewie Booth, who kicked the Rovers first against Grossman. Two mature heads. Booth goes back in. Grossman just scooped it up. Surely that was a throw. Wilson, hand passes out to the young fella on debut, Schulte, who plays in that third flag last year. And I think, is it out of bounds? No, it's holding the ball.
Wow.
It's a free kick here.
I didn't think he tackled it.
It's a free kick here to the co-captain, Michael Bordington, for the Magpies.
How do you get holding the ball if you don't get tackled?
Well, there's strange things that happen in life, Gus, and that's one of them. But his kick is turned over to Will Christie on centre wing right in front of the scoreboard. The Rovers by 2 points. We've played 17 for Maccas in the second term.
All thanks to Jaco Albury-Wodonga as Christie gives his one a bit of a pitching wedge down the line.
Oh.
Great mark, taking the hole.
Oh.
I reckon it's Craven who's taken that mark, boys.
It's been good today.
Who really has stepped up. He had a little bit of a skew F kick to kick
Michael
start.
Bordington,
boys.
That's what you want full forward to do, but make him earn it.
Off the
Cooper
half-back
again.
flank was smart. Kicks towards a bit of space. Tracking this one is Federico. Gets a nice bounce now. Windy conditions, as you can hear. And the wind did a bit too much to get Xavier Laverty involved in the contest. It's out of bounds on the full, tied up in the pocket. The Rovers will receive the football once again. 18 minutes gone here on the Maccas time clock, and it's a 2-point ball game favouring the Premiers, the reigning Premiers, the Rovers. 31 plays 29 for CMV Truck and Bus.
Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing. Gold Coast back in front of Adelaide by a goal. Up on the Gold Coast as Nick Richards takes an intercept mark for the Magpies. Repeat inside 50 again. And Federico all on his own. That quick turnover left the defence of the Rovers searching. And Federico will line up to put the Magpies back in front.
Nick Richards, great grab overhead, just come back with the flight a little bit, and then a nice kick inside 50. And Alex Federico, this always keeps speaking about where Wang goals are going to come from. Their midfield need to make sure they're working inside 50 like Federico did then.
Well, Clark's kicked two as a midfielder. Hewitt's kicked another one, and Melville another one. So all of them from the midfield. Can Melville add to that tally today? Federico lines up the Preston Prince and he puts it through. Federico puts the Magpies back in front. They lead by 4 points. 5-5 plays 5-1 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks.
Yeah, well, we talked about it pre-game. Who is going to kick their goals? Well, the answer's pretty simple now. They're midfielders. So Jackson Clark's kicked two, as we mentioned. Brad Melville, and now the Preston Prince Federico. So really good start and a really good game. Federico's carving together 11 disposals for him on the 40-wing stat sheet, Guzzles.
4-point lead to the Wangaratta Magpies, and Monty, all the goal kickers are the resting mids in attack for the Wangaratta Magpies, something that the Rovers need to really address.
Absolutely. Just a little bit too quick, I think, and quick of mind compared to the defenders of the Wangaratta Rovers at the moment.
3 in a row for the Pies, Gussie.
They look to be finding space inside forward 50 as well, whereas the Rovers are a bit congested. Almost 20 gone for Maccas, and we're back in the centre. Ball falls the way of guess who? Sam Murray for the Rovers. Another 40 winks as he kicks the centre half forward. Big contest forms. Norton got a falcon. McCartney come through, fed it back to Charlie Thompson. Evades one with some good core strength. Now finds Philo on the left. Out wide to Sam Murray. How many for him on the 40 winks?
Yeah, 26.
He's on track for a big day as he kicks towards half forward. Dylan Stone marks. He's 70 from home. Wants to find an option. Sells a bit of candy on the right boot. Kicks a high up and under into the hot spot. 2 Magpies there. The Rovers stay at ground level and the ball goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. The Magpies flew. The Rovers stayed at ground level and none of them could pounce on that ball out of bounds 15 metres from goal.
Monty, has Jasper Craven gone to Sam Murray?
Yeah, I was just about to say that, mate. They've made the change there. Probably been about the last 3 or 4 minutes. Craven's gone to him and he looks like he's paying a little bit more respect to him, but yeah, probably still not enough.
Great tap out the back towards Wilson. And he's brought down in a heavy Tilly tackle. And we'll have a ball up in a really dangerous position for a Rovers opportunity here. 30 metres out directly in front. Ticked over 21 minutes in this second term for Jaco Orbradonga. Boarding on, slams it on the boot, exits D50. McCarthy dropped what he should have marked. Goes by hand to Philo and game 500. Don't tell me, kicks it across goal. They didn't read the script, and Grossman takes a mark on the last line of defence for the Magpies, who lead by 4 points, 35-31. On the CMV truck and bus scoreboard, 21 for Maccas, Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks.
Yeah, well, you just mentioned Brody Philo, the milestone man. He's been really good, 13 disposals for him, and he's probably would have gotten 3 or 4 inside 50s as well, so solid game.
Really good mark stretched out was Jace McQuaid, a Mawson's concrete mark of the day. Reminiscent of Scott Montgomery taking a blinder in the slips that was. Inside 50, go the Rovers, and Boarding-Young
standing up
once again, now with the captaincy, playing a vital role in the back six as always for the Wangaratta Magpies. They switch out to the clubroom side. Aidan Tilley being quiet. Oh, fumble from Grossman. This could be costly. On hands and knees. Wilson makes you pay. Really good finish from the Wangaratta Rovers. Hot on his heels was Dylan Wilson. And you can't turn the footy over in D50 like that, Monty.
Well, it was a good option, I thought, from Tilly to use the short, but Matty Grossman, this dropped an absolute sighter. You won't see that again, I don't reckon, but Dylan Wilson, he's been absolutely phenomenal, I reckon. His pressure he's been able to put on the Wangaratta defenders has been great, and he's got reward.
Yeah, it seems like a little while since Rovers have got it back into their 50. Wangaratta Magpies dominating the territory battle at the moment, but 8 inside 50s apiece for both teams, so having their moments in this quarter on the stat sheet. And that man, Sam Murray, we keep mentioning him, 26 disposals, on track for 52 disposals in this game.
I just think the guys that are trying to defend him are just watching the ball and trying to get their own footy. Maybe just stand with him and don't let him get an easy kick.
Well, let's see what happens here, because Craven's right on him at this stoppage. And Gotchling with a clearance. He's been quiet as Hunter goes inside 50. Clark over around the footy. There's Laverty for the Magpies in and under as well. O'Keefe, really clever tap towards Richards. Had tried to hand pass to the running man and Ellis, and they weren't on the same page. Clearing defence with the Rovers. Booth and Norton in a contest. Here is Craven working off Sam Murray. A high up and under inside forward 50. Vacant goal square. It's a goal! Just like Charlie Thompson's in the first term, it went all the way. Craven with his first snag for the Magpies, and they answer back and now lead by 4 points in a beauty at the WJ Finlay.
Again, just able to lock it inside 50, get a repeat entry and a great finish from Craven on debut for the Magpies.
Yeah, that was brilliant. You just saw the wind just take it, but Wangaratta Magpies playing some really impressive footy. 10 inside 50s for them, 23 inside 50s for the game, so they're holding up really well and they're dominating the territory battle at the moment.
For Corowa Tiles, he looks a player on debut, Jasper Craven. They might have found one, Monty.
Absolutely. I liked what he was doing at half-back, so the fact that he's gone in the middle, he might be around the footy a little bit more. I just hope he gets a bit of a job done on Sammy here.
4-point lead on the CMV truck and bus scoreboard for the Magpies as Catapan, not his best kick on the left, kicks inside forward 50, a shallow entry. Now the ball's with Cleland, feeds it backwards, Stone off the side of the boot. Now Catapan, Christie got in his road, so he's forced to go backwards. This is a good option though. O'Brien on the left, inside 50. Well-weighted kick, bit too much on it for Lewis. Damon handballs over the top. In fact, it was McCartney towards the boundary line. Barrett lurks, waiting for the handball. Big pack forms will ball it up 15 metres out from Rovers' goal. Big ruckman, they just get in the road, Panda.
They do. It just looks unassuming, my man Craven. The black boots.
What are your men today?
Yeah, no, I'm all about him. Little dribbler towards the goal. And then Grossman, like a good goalkeeper, sees it through for a minor score. And it's back to a 3-point margin to the way of the Wang Magpies. 6-5-41. The Rovers 6-2-38. The Pies trying to spoil the party, unveiling the flag earlier today, the Wangaratta Rovers. As Barrett out of defence. Too strong there was Hayden, but Allison got a fist in late. Catapan rode the bump, didn't ride the second one.
Oh.
One umpire's called high.
Mason's
called
come
high.
in.
Monty?
Yeah, it's true. The first one was probably the high one. I thought not much Heatley could have done about his.
So Heatley gave away a free kick and Murray runs past for the hand pass. Hand passes to the young fella on debut, Schulte, who tries to get a 1-2 with Christie. Tracking him there was big Ryan Batten. The Rovers in attack. Allison tied up against the boundary. Centres it to the top of the goal square. Over the back, Cooper. Flew high, not able to mark. We'll have a boundary throw in late into the second term for Jaco Aubrey.
Boys, Heatley just limping off at the moment.
Did he cop a whack, Monty, in that contest? Or?
Might have been his head maybe got him or something.
He looks to be okay. He's certainly a little bit ginger.
And gave a mouthful to the Rovers bench on the way off too.
I like it.
I like it. I got told before the game he will serve at least 2 weeks of suspension this year. I like a guy that plays on the edge. The ball's in D50 for the Magpies, trying to keep it alive as they kick long down the line. It's an okay-looking kick, but the Rovers have numbers. Ball's been marked by Ledger. Back to O'Brien. Ooh. Bit of a bump off the ball there from Christie. I reckon he might have had the ice skates on. Dylan Wilson kicks inside forward 50. Cooper's the target. Good defensive work from Boarding-Young. Made a contest. The Rovers have numbers. Handball over the top was okay. Norton's gone into the back six. Wrapped up in a tackle. Should have been holding the ball. The Rovers can feel a bit stiff there. Bustling through his Hunter Gottschling. He's dived on by 4 Rovers.
And a bit going on.
Ball it up and bit of argy-bargy here. Xavier Allison's in there. So's Dylan Stone. And Dylan Wilson. No love lost there. Murray head over the football. A high free kick, Monty. Sam Murray's going to be the recipient.
And a 50.
They're going to march him to the top of the goal square. I can't help but think that's for mouthing off.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what that was for. And I'm going to be Matty Hayden that gave it away because we know he's good for them.
So Muzz is going to get marched to the top of the goal square here and give the Rovers a 3-point lead. How many 40 winks will this be, Dan Vaccaro?
28.
28 and a goal. It's a dream first start for the coach, Sam Murray. 7-2 plays 6-5. On the CMV truck and bus scoreboard.
Still a fair bit going on.
I was going to say, this derby's got a bit of spice in it now, Monty.
Yeah, Matty Hayden again. We know that there's been a bit of, a past with Matty Hayden and the Rovers boys, and he's just letting Dylan Stone know a fair bit as he gives him mouthful on the way back to the forward line.
Had one of the all-time quarters, Sam Murray, 17 disposals and a goal. We had a lot in the first quarter, but more accumulated, but this quarter he has just been absolutely killing it on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Game has certainly gone up a notch. We've had 8 goals in the second quarter. A high-scoring one, and the Rovers are back in front. We've about 5 lead changes in this second term for Jaco Aubrey-Wodonga. Catapan out of the clearance. He's in trouble. Big tackle from Knowlesy. Catapan just got rid of it in the second. Oh, crunch from Gottschling on Xavier Allison. They're letting their emotions get the better of every single one of them out there, which is what I like to see in the derby. And we have a ball up adjacent to the centre circle. 44 plays 41. 28 played for Macca's second term. Gottschling trying to gain some advantage at ground level. He does. Clark, quick clearing kick out of the stoppage. Ball just sits up at half forward. Joel Smith did well. Coming through O'Keefe. Applies a good tackle on Paul. And we have another ball up in between wing and half forward broadcast side.
Still a bit of push and shove going on.
How's Parker Heatley, Monty?
He's up again, so I think he may be right to go again.
He wants to come back on.
So we'll ball it up. That's 60 metres out from Magpies' goal. Christie won the tap straight to O'Brien. He might have thrown it. Umpire let it slide. Well done there by the Magpies. Head over the football was Batten.
Clever.
Now a little toe poker handball out wide. Ball's in the hands of Ellis. Penetrating left boot, not the best. Spills out of bounds. On 29 and a half gone here. Thanks to Maccas. They're going to kick a goal here, the Maggies. Rings.
Absolutely. It's been said before. Christie onto Murray. Gang tackled straight away, not giving him an inch. How many again?
Disposals in the game at 18.
Second quarter for Jayco Albury-Wodonga. We had 4 lead changes.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home. There's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
The halftime break.
Elders Rural, your agribusiness specialists and Polaris dealership, Shoeback Street, Albury.
O&M Live on 2AY.
And welcome back to the WJ Finlay Oval for the McDonald's halftime show here. Opening round of the O&M this year. We have a Wangaratta derby. Wangaratta Rovers taking on the Magpies. 7-2-44 the Rovers, leading by 3 points at halftime to the Magpies 6-5-41. I've got Dan Vaccaro next to me, thanks to 40 Winks and Vax. It was an interesting half of footy, very scrappy early, really like a round one game where they're just quite trying to find the pace of what's going on, but then it really opened up in that second quarter and we saw some really good, interesting footy.
Yeah, you're spot on, Mont. It did start really scrappy and I thought that was going to hang around a little bit longer, but in that second quarter it really opened up. I think both forward lines are really kind of doing similar things. I think Wangaratta are really trying to open up, get their smalls up the ground and get them working back and leave it open for them to run into. And Wangaratta Rovers sort of did that as well, but in that second quarter, they were just really potent around the goals. You mentioned how it opened up, but Dylan Wilson was fantastic that quarter. He kicked 2 goals, and it's really easy on the eye this game now, especially in that second quarter.
We spoke about it, didn't we, where Wangaratta's goal is going to come from, and it's come from their midfielders, and I feel it might be the Rovers' slack defence from their midfielders, probably trying to get out inside the game and be that outlet kick if they were to win it back, but they're probably going to have to try and defend a little bit harder as midfielders and follow their men in.
It probably is that, along with the rotation as well, that they're trying to rest forward a little bit too. So obviously you see Melville and Federico just having little stints up forward as well. So that's why they're looking a little bit more prominent around the goals. And then Jackson Clark, who we've been talking about as well, has kicked 2, especially in that first quarter. So it's a really interesting watch. Both teams are sort of, it's almost like both teams are getting it on their turn for 5 minutes, and then Rovers get it back on their turn, and it's just a real arm wrestle at the moment. So it's really going to be who's going to open that game up and get it playing on their terms the second half.
We'll just quickly run through the goal kickers. As we spoke about, Dylan Wilson has kicked 2, both in that second quarter, and then singles 2. Nathan Cooper, Stewie Booth, Sammy Murray, Charlie Thompson, and Oscar Cleland. And while for Wangaratta, we got 2 to Jackson Clark, a midfielder who really killed in that first quarter. Harry Hewitt's got the 1, Brad Melville, Jasper Craven, and Alex Federico. As we have a look at the 40 Wink stat sheet, Vax, what are they saying for their teams, and what can we pull out of it, and what are the individuals doing?
Well, for the teams, it's screaming even. So clearances are even, 12 each. The free kick count, I think it's been pretty well adjudicated. There's been a couple of calls, but I think all in all, 9-7 in favour of the Rovers. The inside 50 count, super even again. Rovers 24 to Wangaratta Magpies 23. Marks inside 50s 3 apiece as well. So there's really nothing splitting them. And then as we run through the team stats, the man who has literally got leather poisoning at the moment, Sam Murray, he put together one of the all-time quarters. He had 18 disposals that quarter and kicked a goal. He's had 29 for the game. So he's on track for almost 60 disposals.
That's crazy, isn't it?
And he's taking the absolute piss, as Panda said in the first quarter. Lockie O'Brien's been really solid. He's playing a little bit off that half-back line as well, so maybe 16 disposals for him. Sam Catapan's been okay with 14. Brody Filo, I think, has been really good. His clearance work's been good, and we saw a little bit of vintage Brody Filo that quarter. He's had the 14. Ed Damon, I'm taking his numbers. He has a very quiet day on the 40-wing stat sheet. He looks obviously been carrying something, Monty, but he has only touched the ball or disposed of the ball once in this game, so he has been super quiet. And then as we move over to Wangaratta Magpies, Jackson Clark, he's been really solid contributor today. 10 disposals and 2 goals for him. Federico, the Preston Prince, he's had 11. Brad Melville's had 11. Cam Barrett off the half-back line's had 8, and Aiden Tilley's been reasonably quiet with 3 disposals. But it's the ball winners for Wang. Not big numbers, but they're all having an impact. Melville, Federico, and Clark.
Yeah, and that's what we spoke about before the game, wasn't it? They were the 3 that probably had to really stand up. And while Sammy Murray, he's just taking the piss, as you said. He's got his own footy out there. He might as well have Sharon tattooed across his hands because it'll be on there by the end of it. It'll be rubbed off the footy. Looking forward, Dan, what are they going to do in this third quarter? The Magpies probably need to find another avenue to goal, while the Rovers, when they go inside 50, they're quite potent, but there are long periods in between their goals.
Well, I feel like, and we mentioned how good of a job that the midfielders are doing to get in and get goals, but it can be quite unsustainable when you play that way. You really want your forwards to really start contributing, so they've got to find a way to get their forwards involved with the game a little bit more. They're trying to open it up, as we saw in that first quarter, and they did it really well, but I think what's going to happen now, the forwards that are pushing up and giving that forward 50 space, they've got to work really hard to get back and start making contests in their forward line to get goals. So I think it's going to be keep that forward line open, but we've got to start getting our forwards back in there, running back the other way. And for Rovers, I think they've just... it's really hard. I think they've got to keep doing what they're doing and just try and wrestle back that momentum. But the problem is, when Wangaratta get it back on their terms, they've got to get it back. They've really got to sustain it for a little bit longer, Rovers.
I think you're spot on there, and I'd like to see Parker Heatley, who so much talked about. He's a leading goal kicker from down in the Northern Footy League, down there. Different footy here. Jace McQuaid following him, Charles Ledger, who have both proven Ovens and Murray defenders. I'd just like to see him get up the ground a little bit, present a little bit more. Yep. Don't try and get the over the back a little bit like we've seen a couple of times. Because if you can get the touches up the ground, then you can burn them once you've hit that next target. Correct. So I'd like to see him just that work rate maybe lift a bigger ground than what he's probably used to down there. So I don't know. I'd just like to see him find a bit more space.
I couldn't agree more. And when you're playing that way where you're getting your forwards up the ground and then working back, that means if he's up the ground taking marks, he's going to have options running that way. I feel like when you have an open 50 of what they've gone, if you're not getting your use absolutely spot on and getting it into Parker, it's not going to work because they're just going to take it and then they're going to rebound. So, yeah, if he can get up the ground a little bit more and get his small forwards running past him and almost surged into the goals, that's going to be a really good look in the second half.
No, you're spot on there. And just recap the second quarter. Who were your Albury Vital Air quarters best?
Well, I really liked Brody Filo's game, to be honest. He had 8 disposals. We talk about Sam Murray. He's been fantastic. But Brody Filo I thought was great. He had 8 disposals that quarter. He would have had 2 or 3 clearances and probably 4 inside 50. So when he gets the ball, it's so vital, and his touches are worth their weight in gold. So he was fantastic. And Dylan Wilson, who we spoke about too, he got the 2 goals, so he was great for them. And then over for Wangaratta, it was a real even spread. I thought Federico was great. He had 6 and a goal, and I thought his midfield work was fantastic. And Brad Melville as well was really good. He kicked a goal and had 5.
And we might just quickly go around the grounds thanks to Evolution Roofing. What's happening in the AFL, Dan?
In the AFL at Gold Coast Suns, 10-11-71 plays Adelaide Crows 10-5-65. As Panda said before, game of the round. So that is a fantastic watch, that one.
It is. And we've just got a couple of TDFL scores as well. We've got Midda 60 leading the Wodonga Saints 36. Kiwa 41 leading the reigning premiers Yakking down to 29. And Chilton are up by 4 over Beechworth. So a couple of tight games there. A couple of games where you're not quite sure what's going to happen. Well, what we might do, we might get a netball update from today's game, and then we'll be back with all the third quarter action here on OM Live.
This is the netball wrap, thanks to Ray White Wodonga. Our opening round was the Wangaratta Derby from the WJ Finlay Oval. The Magpies away are the victors, 52 to the Rovers, 41. A great full court effort from the Magpies, who was celebrating stalwart Katie Dean in her 250th A-grade game. She was presented with Ovens and Murray Life membership before the commencement of the A-grade game. A younger Wangaratta Rovers outfit stood up really well for a half, but the Magpies showed their experience in the second half. Led from the front by our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day, Leah Genvy. Yamanda Yamanski was great in goals, and Hannah Grady, the youngsters in the likes of Millie O'Kane and Holly Humphreys, getting some court time for the Magpies as well. And for the Rovers, Coach Gracie Reid in goal attack, Michaela Trethowan and Holly McCarthy, really positive impacts on court. That has been the netball wrap, thanks to Ray White Wodonga.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a hole, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
And Wodonga, your local family-owned Massey, Ferguson and Fent dealer.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Welcome back to the WJ Finlay Oval, half-time in the O&M Live match of the day. The Wangaratta Derby. The Rovers lead 7-2-44 to the Magpies, 6-5-41, and a great half-time show from Dan Vaccaro and Scott Montgomery. And the headline so far has been Sam Murray, a BYO job with the Sherrin in hand today. Talk us to his 40 wings disposals.
I've just done a Robbie. I'd never do a Robbie, so that's a new one for me. But he has been fantastic, Sam Murray. 29 disposals and a goal. He had 18 and a goal in the second quarter, Gus. So he's absolutely got the ball on the string, and he's on his way for a BOG performance.
Big shout out as well. We love to survey food here on O&M Live across the northeast and the border. Big shout out to Darcy Booth, legend of the Wangaratta Rovers. He's running the canteen, the barbecue below us, Gussie. Couple of free steakettes, onion coleslaw, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Hold on.
Absolutely.
Free.
Yep.
So I had to fork out 10 for my steakette and the water, and the big boys just head downstairs and they get it for
I
free.
think that says a little bit about you, Dan.
I reckon it says about you blokes would have walked down there and name drop yourselves. And
Not
you've
at all.
really got it for
Hey,
free.
don't worry about name drops. Someone goes, "Oh, that's Dan Vaccaro." And then when someone goes, "No, it's not. That's Gussie."
You'd be happy with that.
And I turned around and said, "I've never been so insulted in my life."
You'd be happy with that.
A big shout out to all the volunteers here at the Wangaratta Rovers doing a fantastic job.
It was a great steakette.
One of the better ones.
Yep.
Is it a steakette, the one they had down there?
Put it on
or
your
is
list.
it a burger?
Put it on your list for next week. Dan's list. The best steakette at O&M footy. Monty, boundary side, thanks to Corowa Electrical.
That was a long blow then,
It was a
wasn't
very
it?
long
They know
blow.
when Gus is talking.
Yeah, they do.
And there was someone next door must be just waiting to push that button. The breeze has been a big talking point, Monty. What's it going to be like in the second half?
Yeah, look, it's probably died down
got a bit of an edge. He's a bit like our man.
Looks like Jasper Craven is going to go and line up straight on centre.
McCarthy lurks, nice up inside, attacking 50 for the Maggies.
Brody Paul looks a little bit worse for wear, Gussie.
Yeah, might have got a little rib tickler from Parker Heatley.
Philo emerges from this contest onto McCarthy, finds his non-preferred. Did a bounce inside play.
Position plays don't grow on trees, especially in defence, and he looks like he's going to settle in down there at the Magpies. Goes down the line. Christie got two hands to it, then he has to do the work at ground level, the big boy. Federico just crawling like a little baby. Wide tied to it, wraps up McCarthy. We have a ball up right up against the chalk. 55 around from the Wangaratta Magpies goal. Really entertaining second quarter it was, and let's hope we have more of the same in the third quarter in the season opener. Looking forward to round one next week. 3 games we're doing on O&M Live, and O&M Live first on a Saturday, if you don't mind. We have another ball up right in front of Monty. Boundary side for Cora Better Electrical.
Yeah, back to the first quarter here, boys. A little bit scrappy around the ball at the moment. A lot of up and around the footy, so hopefully we can open it up. We can open again.
90 seconds gone. Nothing over. Days, and Mason Reeves will call for it again.
Well, if you are just listening in, Sam Murray in the first half, 29 disposals and a goal.
The boys downstairs couldn't believe got two hands to it. He goes well. Magpies working in overdrive and defence. Really safe kick. It's a good one too, exiting defence to Melville. Almost 50 against Allison. Squid goes short. Short little 45 to Norton. He's going to switch the football back to our broadcast side. Tilly has a bit of time and space to take a bounce in his own D50. Goes short again. Barely 15 to Craven. Edge of the D50. He's going to go long down the line, Gus McLeod.
As the clock hits 3 minutes, thanks to Macca's. Big Nosey!
Oh,
jeez, that was a great contest between Knowles and McCarthy. Both looked to be okay. I thought Knowles was a bit stiff not to get a free there. Inside 50 go the Rovers, but Grossman's there for the Magpies. They're going to come long via Boarding-Yong, who looks to be a bit proppy after that kick. Well done, Jasper Craven. Got front and centre, but it went through his mitts out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
Knowles is sucking him in, comes straight off after that contest. He's sucking him in. Trainers are just attending him, but I think he'll be fine.
Landed flat on his back, did Big Knowlesy. He said, what about me?
Oh, that's terrible. You did that in the podcast as well.
Francis in the box.
At least he lifted.
Federico evades, kicks long down the line. Nice work, working out in front is Matt Hayden. On the right boot, kicks to centre half forward. Laverty has some work to do to work into this space. Inside forward 50 go the Magpies. Good contest. Clark brought it front and centre. Melville's resting forward. Collects nicely. Handballs backwards, but there's no Magpies in sight. Laverty gets there late. Clean bounce. Left foot kick. Wasn't his best. Federico's got work to do. The Rovers have numbers. They retreat now. O'Brien, little dinky one to put it nicely. This is sloppy from the Rovers as the inside 50 go the Magpies. Federico, handball over the top. Melville's got the sit. Right foot snap, goal. Kicks his seconds. Clumsy football, uncharacteristically from the Rovers. Results in a big goal to start the third term from the Maggies.
Yeah, just that kick coming out of defence from O'Brien. Went about 3 metres and put them under the pressure. Just needed to get it out of there as quick as he could. Good turnover, great use, and Melville, great finish.
Yeah, Brad Melville, he's had a really good game. He's had 13 disposals and he's kicked 2 goals, and they don't mind the scrap, Maggie, so really up for the fight early in this third quarter.
I don't even think that kick from Lockie O'Brien went 3 metres. I think he forgot to put the ball onto his boot, Gus.
Bit of short-term memory loss, perhaps.
So the margin back to 3 points to the way of the Magpies. That's our 5th score change, lead change in a row. So we have another beauty here in the Wangaratta derby. Hewitt, he's been good today. Over to Craven, trying to get busy on Murray. Torpedoes it towards half forward. Hayden got 2 hands to it, brought to ground. We're going to have a scrimmage and a ball up. A few claps on the boundary or the balcony, getting a little bit raucous up there, the crew. They like to get loud, Monty.
Yeah, it's a little bit thinner than normal.
That time of day, Panda.
Yeah, it might have something to do with the scoreboard as well. Christie did really well, the big fella. Torpedo punts the tumbler to half forward. Well done, boarding on. Meets it with a fist. Trickles in towards the middle of the ground. It clean bowls everyone. McCarthy comes through. Wobbler to half forward. Cooper's got a couple of metres on boarding on. Tries to grab it with one hand and do the old goose step. Snaps from 40. Little tumbling kick. It's through for a minor score. Too agile for his own good there, Nathan Cooper. And the Rovers move to 7-3-45 to the Magpies 7-5-47. Margin at 2 points on the Peter Bowen Homes scoreboard. Great to have Peter Bowen Homes on board in 2025, Gussie.
And a shout out to Peter Bowen as well, joining us on
Spit that one out, Panda.
In 2025. Tilly from fullback for the Magpies. Finds its way to Grossman in the D50. Ed Damon just looks really proppy, boys. It's almost becoming a hindrance here for the Rovers as Barrett kicks down the line. Good contest from Tweedale, making Will Christie earn every bit of it as the ball goes out of bounds. Right in front of Scott Montgomery for Corabetta Electrical.
Yeah, smaller, but I know that he's such a big pillar that it takes one of their key defenders out of the contest, so it's going to be an interesting call moving forward.
2 point lead to the Magpies here on the Peter Bowen Homes scoreboard. 7 minutes gone for Maccas. Gotchling got the ball back to Craven. Kick was smothered off the boot. Regathered his own footy, and Gotchling, a little bit of a dinky one, goes down the line and he finds Richards right in front of our broadcast position. Kicking into the breeze are the Magpies here in the third term. He's just going to sit this one up into the wind and hope for a contest. Front and centre, really nice jukes out in front from Laverty. Working himself into the game. Kicks to the top of the goal square, trying to find Clark. Allison for the Rovers comes through, got a handball onto Murray. At fullback are Wangaratta Rovers exiting defensive 50. Long kick down the line and Tilly chops out for the Pies.
Intercept mark from Tilly, who won the Wang Maggies best and fairest. Kick was also intercepted by Wilson across half-back, pushing up from forward. Charlie Thompson with pace, kicks to the broadcast side. McCartney over the head there of Batten. McCartney runs away, breaks the 50, inside 50 Cleland. Great play from the Rovers from defence into attack, and the young fella on debut will line up for his second, 45 metres out on a slight angle.
How good was that from McCartney? Went back, great mark, and then just the presence of mind of this go short and find the young fella on debut. Could have blazed away, but a really nice use of the footy.
So young Oscar Cleland, he's already got one on debut and knows where the goals are. He kicked 60 big ones in the thirds last year. A nice, easy approach, inside forward 50. It's a bit of a mongrel, but it doesn't matter how you kick them as long as they go through the sticks. They get around young Oscar again. He's got his second, and the Rovers are back in front by 4 points here on the Peter Bowen home scoreboard.
Yeah, really good use. Cleland in front of the goals there. He's kicked 2 goals, as we mentioned earlier, and a good start for Wangaratta Rovers. They have had 27 inside 50s. Wangaratta Magpies have had the 28, so a very even affair at the moment.
Monty, I like the move of Jasper Craven on ball for the Magpies here in the second half.
Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a job on Sam Murray, but he's finding himself, which can always hurt Sam, because his defensive stuff sometimes needs to be a little bit better. But yeah, absolutely started this quarter really well.
So a 2-point lead, in fact a 4-point lead I should say, to the Rovers. This game is ebbing and flowing beautifully. Whiteside Tua, left it behind, Fraser Ellis. Now Murray gets the hands on the footy. Inside 50, back of the pack, Damon, got it. Fell into his bread basket. Probably would have had the legs from the Sam Murray kick. And this to go back-to-back for the Wangaratta Rovers.
First time we've seen him be able to get it out of the centre clearance to deep forward for quite a while for the Rovers. And Sam Murray is standing up when his team needs it. Just got the lead back, and now they're going to go again.
Ed Damon completes the Mawson's concrete play of the day as the Rovers kick 2 in a minute. Margins out to 10 points.
And Murray again got the fantastic clearance out of the midfield, straight down Damon's throat, and he's had 32 disposals and a goal for Sam Murray. So he has just been unbelievable today and a really good start for Rovers.
Looks super fit, Sammy, doesn't he? I think he's dropped a couple of kilos over the pre-season. He's covering the ground really well. He's getting his hands on it. He's going both ends of the ground. So it's going to be a big year, I think, for Sammy.
Best player in the league.
I reckon he's carrying at least a kilo in his hair. Jeez, he's got a thick set of hair this year.
It's luscious. He's got the slick back, doesn't he?
Showing it off.
Bloody oath he does. I'd kill for a head of hair like that.
I was about to say.
Don't worry, old Steel Wool over there is too.
Shut up, Dan. Back in the middle. We like to turn on each other here on O&M Live as Federico soccers it forward. Here's O'Keefe with a little opportunity to lower his eyes to Clark.
Parker
In fact, it is. It's Parker Heatley. He's a big, thick boy, and Parker can go back and find his first for the Magpies.
Thick boy, Monty.
Yeah, I wouldn't have quite gone that way, but anyway, again, straight out of the centre clearance. How dangerous is it? And O'Keefe, just a small forward, did the right thing, was in front and turned and found the full forward coming out of the square. And I'd like him to put this one through because he's kicked a couple behind so far, Parker.
I don't mean it that way, in the slightest.
No,
All I would like to say is I wouldn't like to run into him.
Peter.
Well, he was mouthing off of the bench before, but all will be forgiven if he can put this one through. Parker comes in, and it's across the face for a minor score. 57 plays 48. That's his third behind for the day. And the Rovers are 9 points in front of the Peter Bowen home scoreboard. We have played 11 minutes for Maccas in this third term.
Dan Vaccaro will get some 40 winks in a second as the Rovers attack the corridor. Nice kick from O'Brien. Justin Lewis marks behind the centre circle, penetrating one to Booth on the edge of the centre square. Needs to find an option. He's going to kick towards a contest. Inside forward 50. Allison read it better than the lot. This could be a coast-to-coast play of the day. Mawson's concrete play of the day from the Wangaratta Rovers. They went coast-to-coast. All starting from a really good kick from fullback, Monty.
Yeah, Lockie O'Brien it was. When he kicks it in, they look so dangerous. Goes long all the time. Found Lewis in the middle, and a great decision for him to go sideways. And how did Allison find his way up there? He got lost, I reckon.
That's going to be a really dangerous weapon for Wangaratta Rovers. The fact that they can move it so quickly into their forward line, coast to coast, as Gus said. Xavier Allison, who's been good today, is fantastic. And the inside 50 count now 30-29. So still a very even affair on the 40-wing stat sheets, Gus.
A miss up one end from Parker, and Xavier makes you pay at the other, the defender. And it's out to a 15-point margin. Last three to the way of the Wangaratta Rovers. Panda and Gus with you for the Northo Hotel. Down on your 40-wing stat sheet, and Monty boundary side for Cora Tiles. It's a free kick in the middle, and it's going to go the way of the Preston Prince Federico. Little hold against Sam Murray. We're getting around the ground score soon. It's a beauty between the Crows and the Suns for Evolution Roofing. Federico lowers his eyes, Gotchling out in front. Good
Swung
waiting
forward.
kick. Yep. He's got a good left foot. Does Hunter. It's a pretty congested forward 50 for the Magpies. He's going to pop it to the top of the goal square. Laverty caught behind, spills the way here of Melville. Clark can run into an open goal and kick his third. A little dribbler from Jackson Clark. He's en route for 5, and Dan smiles. And the margin's back to 9 points.
Just got it long and deep, Gotchling. That's what they want. Got it out the back, and just their smalls again. And even though Jackson's not that small, he just was able to get to the ground level, and great finish.
Yeah, the outlandish call is looking good now. Jackson Clark kicks his third. He has been fantastic today. 13 disposals for him, 3 goals. He's been really prominent on the 40-wing stat sheet. And Panda mentioned before, around the grounds for Evolution Roofing in the AFL, it's Gold Coast Suns 12-11-83 to Adelaide Crows 12-6-78. So what a good battle that is.
5 goals here in the first 14 minutes of footy in the third term. Margin 9 points favouring the Wangaratta Rovers. Tweedale's gone in the ruck. Christie read it better. Up towards half forward go the Rovers, and they're going to be defending now as the ball gets brought out to the broadcast side wing. Off half back, Joel Smith. Nice little dinky kick over the top. Catapan got a nice bounce. Finds the left boot. Cooper's the target. Big crunching pack. Flew across was Booth. Bit of friendly fire there from the Rovers. Bourdignon clears defensive lines. Free kick, a hold. Going to go the way of Murray. Fair call, Monty.
Yeah, it was there.
Handball over the top. Finds Catapan 70 from home. High up and under top of the goal square. Barrett's in the hole. Free kick. It's going to go the way of the Magpies.
Tilly.
Looks to be against Big Cooper. Aidan Tilly will be the recipient in the goal square.
Geez, you'd be spewing a big power forward like that, and a small forward comes across you in Booth and tries to steal your chockies. Deary me. Tilly going to try and transfer the footy. Here the Magpies. Federico on to Grossman. How many for the Preston Prince, Dan?
16 for the Preston Prince.
He's had a good day. Really good switch. It's effective as Richards marks. Defensive side of the scoreboard. Far side here at the Norman's Oval. Wants to come in board. Doesn't have many options that he likes. So he's going to hug the boundary line. Tries to find Gotchling. Jace McQuaid does well to push off Laverty. He comes in board. The Rovers win it back, and it's in the hands of Catapan. Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Turnover, interception. Hunter Gotchling for the Magpies. Kicks to a one-on-one. Top of the goal square, Parker Heatley needs a bounce. 2 Rovers in hot pursuit. Boundary line's going to be a good outcome, and that's what he gets. Really good pressure play from Hunter Gotchling there, Monty.
It was fantastic, but that body work there from Joel Smith was unreal too. I thought in the weight division he was probably a bit outclassed, but was able to get back hard onto Heatley and was able to just push him off a little bit and then get this boundary throw in.
Albury-Wodonga MG third term. Deep into attack for the Wangaratta Magpies. Clark against Christie in the ruck. Burrowing his way through as Clark onto Harry Hewitt, top of the goal square. Well done, Smith, wrapped up in a crunching tackle.
Christie's down, boys.
O'Keefe looks to be in a bit of pain. And Will Christie is very, very slow and ginger to get up. Maybe it's cramp, Monty.
Yep. It could be.
Keep tabs on that one. Out of the ruck, Heatley, dribble kick. Parker Heatley! Welcome to the Ovens and Murray. Kicks his first goal with his 4th attempt on goal. And that's just what the doctor ordered for the Wangaratta Magpies. Back-to-back goals.
With Christie down with that cramp there, he was able to just have that size advantage in the ruck, Parker Heatley, and a good finish for his first goal for the Wangaratta Magpies.
Yeah, used his stick frame there, Panda in the ruck, and that was a fantastic finish by Heatley and Parker Heatley, and they've been fantastic, and it's a really good contest at the moment. 8 inside 50s apiece on the 40-wing stat sheet this quarter.
Those shades of Daniel Wells, Monty. Just grabbed it out of mid-air and went bang.
Yeah, Wellsies was better.
No, I'm just said shades. I said shades. It was similar-ish.
Not as thick.
I'll be buying Parker a beer after this game.
I'm going to tell him.
No, you can.
I'll give him your number, Parker.
At the end of the day, I ticked him to kick 5 goals. Here's Philo. Just fumbled it. A rare fumble from Brody. Hewitt drops it into the hole to Waitai Tua. It's on the Peterborough home scoreboard. It's back to 3 points. Magpies trail. They've kicked the last 2. Well done from Matty Hayden. On to Harry Hewitt. Torpedo punt. Where's Heatley? Not down there. Ripped off that footy was Tweedale. Gotchling inside 50. Rode the bump beautifully. Christie wrapped him up. So does Smith, who's just playing his role beautifully today. And we'll have a ball up just inside attacking 50 for the Magpies. As I said, they trail by 3 points after the Rovers led by 15 a few moments ago.
It's on the Peterborough home scoreboard. Nice work by Hayden, just trying to burrow his way through. Philo went backwards with a handball in towards a bit of traffic on the badge of the 50-metre arc, and we'll ball it up once again. Scott Montgomery, Corowa Tiles.
Yeah, just gone back into that bit of a scrappy stage here of the game. I thought it opened up quite well for the last 10 minutes, but it's just gone in that scrappy phase around the footy again.
Tweedale in the ruck, won the tap. Joel Smith got the ball to Brody Philo, and the Rovers clear defensive lines towards true centre wing. Nice contest. Tilly got there late, made an impact on the equation as Wilson links up with McCartney. Evades 1, evades 2, now back to Stone. Stone, long kick down the line, lands just inside the field of play, and it'll be a boundary throw in front of the netball courts here in the pocket. 18 and a half minutes gone thanks to Maccas. Bring the ball back into play into attack for the Rovers.
And the milestone man, Brody Foley, up to 19 disposals on the 40-week stat sheet.
Thrown back in. Cooper up against Knowles. Cooper jumps over the football. It's been good without being unbelievable today, Cooper. He's kicked the one major. We have another ball up. Still an attack here for the Wang Rovers. Wilson tried to hand pass it to a teammate. Comes the way of Jasper Craven, who sells a bit of candy, then handballs inboard to Gotchling. One of his left foot. Knowlesy just hand pass it straight to McCarthy. What were you doing, Chris? Turnover. Here's Nolan onto Stewie Booth, who torpedoes it. It comes back. Oh, through for a minor score. That was a beautiful drawback, just not enough.
An example why you don't have a ruckman in the handball chain, Panda.
Correct. Minor score. 64 the Rovers, 60 the Magpies on the Peter Bowen home scoreboard.
Tilly Paw from fullback put Barrett under the pump. The Rovers have numbers. Tilly mops up nicely. Thompson, really good core strength. Mason! Get out of the way, Mason! Rovers regather. In fact, the Magpies regather possession. Gotchling under the pump. Federico. Dump kick down the line. 2-on-2. The Rovers have a number at the back. Well done, Xavier Allison. Keeps his footing. Smashed into by Tweedale. Now Hayden. Played a pretty good role today. Has Matt Hayden. Monty just provided a contest everywhere he's gone, standing up amongst the youth of the Magpies.
Yeah, he's been that link player, has been playing that high half forward role, leading up hard and giving him an option to kick to.
Murray's stats this quarter, Dan?
Been a little bit more quiet, only the 4 disposals.
So Craven's doing a job there.
He is indeed. 20 minutes played for Maccas in this third term for Albury-Wodonga MG as Christie looks to recover from that cramp. Tilly just controlling the air at the moment is Aidan Tilly. I think we all owe Gus an apology as well. Did pick this man to win the best and fairest last year.
But that was wrong.
I believe. Well, he did.
He won it.
Did he?
He won it.
Yep.
Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry then, Gus.
So I think you actually laughed at him from memory, Scott. But anyway, Christie on the wing.
I might have.
Not able to mark. Ball up. Right in front of Scott Montgomery for Cora. Better electrical on the boundary.
Yeah, Will Christie's just in the wars at the moment. Went to ground again and really struggled to get up. So he's definitely blowing. He's had the pickle juice. The cramp's gone away, but now he's really blowing.
Magpies look to be fit. They're really keeping up with the engine room of the Wangaratta Rovers. And we'll bring the ball back into play once again. What are some of the key stats that are sticking out on the 40-wing stat sheet, Dan?
I guess how even the contest is, it's ebb and flowing. So the inside 50 count is just about even. So it is 32 to 31 at the moment. So it's a very close contest.
Rovers kicking with the breeze at present. The Maggies will bring it home. McCarthy, right foot penetrating kick to a Damon contest. Lost his footy,
got him
Damon,
a free kick.
but he got a free kick. Nice forward craft is probably the only way I can describe it against Michael Boardingyong. And it's going to be a free kick to Damon, 20 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, just read the drop zone of the ball really well and stopped and held his space.
Hang on.
It's gone the other way.
It's a free kick to Grossman for a
That must
hold
have been
against
something.
Damon.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I'll eat me hat. Ball goes out to the showground side. The Rovers regather the ball. Big hat. Dancing around. They come back inboard. O'Brien on the half volley was clean. Nice block from Paul. Now the ball's with O'Brien. He kicks inside 50. Damon once again. Good contest. Best one we've seen from him all day. Top of the goal square goes a flying ball. Cooper with a fist kept it alive. Trying to block it for the Crummers. Cletland looks dangerous. Applies a big tackle. Handball back into the corridor. Well done, Federico. Ball's now in the hands of Lewis. Top of the goal square for the Rovers. Big crucial fist comes through. McCarthy's lurking. Hewitt got taken in a big tackle. Umpire balls it up after all that 40 metres from Rovers' goal.
Ping-ponging around out there at the minute from end to end. Great Ovens and Murray footy on 2AY and O&M Live and Edge FM. 4-point lead to the Rovers. A narrow one on the Peter Bowen home scoreboard. Inside 50 here for the Rovers. Lots of players around this pill. Booth tries to spin around a couple of tackles. His kick did not travel 15. Barrett tried to claim it. He goes wide. Edge of D50 hit. Wide tied to a broadcast side.
Got no one down the line, boys. No one at all.
He's only got Parker Heatley, but doesn't want to use him. Really good kick inboard on the short 45 to Hewitt, who has put on some size in this off-season. Got to the gym. Nick Richards called to play on. In between half-back and centre wing. Does well just to grab a little bit of space when there was none and jam it to half forward. Leading the Packers, Big Knowles. He keeps the ball in front of him. Went to ground level, almost bowled over his teammate. Craven, who's been good. On to Melville. Left foot kicks a smart one over the reaching hands of Norton. But all on their own here, the Magpies. They can raffle it. And Xavier Laverty in the goal square puts it into the next week. Kicks it straight out of the ground to Xavier. end-to-end stuff for the Magpies, and they now grab the lead back by 2 points, Monty.
Yeah, we said Richards had no one down the line, which he didn't. Changed the angle of footy, got it back through the middle of the ground, and Knowlesy went to ground, was able to be nice and clean once it hit the deck and was able to get in there, and Laverty just worked so hard. He was up at half forward and just worked his backside off to get the goal square and gets the reward.
Yeah, great work there by Laverty, and Alex Federico has been really prominent this quarter. He's had the 7 disposals, 19 for the game, the Preston Prince, on the 40-wing stat sheet, so he's been really good, and Pan will be happy about that. He's got him in his fantasy team as well.
Melville kicked the first goal of the third term at the 5th minute mark. 3 Rovers goals then come following, and now 3 in a row for the Wangaratta Magpies. They see them back in front by 2 points on the Peter Bowen home scoreboard. It's been a really intriguing third term, thanks to Mimo and the boys at Wangaratta MG. Cooper's gone in the ruck. 25-minute mark, thanks to Maccas. Hunter Gotchling left the ball behind. Murray applies a tackle on Federico. Whistle was blown before it got knocked out into play. Umpire's going to ball it up between forward 50 in the centre circle, favouring the Rovers. Tweedale's in the ruck. Catapan read it well. Inside 50 now go the Rovers. Damon in a contest. Needs a crummer. Keeps his footing. Ed Damon tried to find a little toe poker, and the Magpies are happy to take it across the chalk via Matt Grossman, who's playing a pretty good game, is the veteran. Deep in defence to the Wangaratta Magpies. 25.5 gone for Maccas. Will bring it back into play deep in Rovers territory.
So as Gussie said before, for the Northo Hotel, 3 in the way of the Rovers, 3 answered back for the Magpies, and Cleland's going to kick 3. No, minus score. Oh dear, it fell his way and probably should have kicked it directly in front, 15 out. Minus score, good pressure from the Magpies. The Rovers move through to 10-5-65. The Magpies 10-6-66. It is a 1-point ball game at the WJ Finlay Oval. Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks, what do you got for us as this ball gets retrieved for the kick-in?
Yeah, well, Sam Murray, as we mentioned, he's recovering from leather poisoning now. He's been a little bit more quiet this quarter. Only the 6 disposals, which is low for his standards, but he's up to the 35 disposals this game. And then around the grounds, Gold Coast Suns 13-13-91, plays Adelaide 14-6-90, and that's around the grounds for Evolution Roofing.
Couple of good games of footy going on right across the country, including this one. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on 2AY. Snap Print Solutions TV off for the first time on Edge FM. Great to have your company from the WJ Finlay Oval. Kick off the boot was smothered. Harry Hewitt would like to take that one back, and Ed Damon starting to work his way into this contest in the third term. 26.5 minutes gone. The Magpies lead by a point in the third term, thanks to Wangaratta MG. Boundary throw-in, 30 metres from Rovers' goal. Damon's in the ruck. No ruckman had a major impact on that contest as the Maggies kick a dump kick down the line. McQuaid flew high. Not his best effort, didn't connect cleanly. Charlie Thompson, handball's looking to go out of bounds. That he does, and will bring it back into play for another restart.
McQuaid cramped, boys, so we might see a fair bit of that coming up for the rest of this game.
Warm 21-degree day here across the northeast and the border. Not long left in this third quarter. We've played 27 minutes for Maccas, and the Maggies by a point on the Peter Bowen home scoreboard. Good tackle applied there as Murray swoops on a loose ball, didn't get hand to it, and he's caught holding the ball, Sam.
Let him know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Good tackle. He was gang tackled by the Wangaratta Magpie Army, and Federico is the recipient. Deep in defence. Want to hold on here to three-quarter time, the Maggies. Goes long, Laverty and McQuaid in a contest. Cooper, who looks like he's just gone behind the footy. Kicks in the middle of the ground. Stone did okay. Good tackle applied on from Melville. And we have a ball up, edge of the square.
Where's the +1 for the Magpies now, Monty?
Nah, Cooper's playing in the ruck, boys. That's where he was positioned from the ruck.
Well, looks like they've got one.
No, they're all just rolling up now, trying to find him on the way through, yep.
Knowles in the ruck contest as Cooper lost his footing. Pinballs around the middle. O'Brien kicks inside attack for the Wangaratta Rovers. Nice contest. Murray sitting forward. He's got 2 Magpies to beat. And the Magpies prevail by 8 until he sees it out of bounds for another boundary throw-in. So almost 29 minutes gone here in the third term. We have had 7 goals, so it might go the journey. Back into play. Knowles, good work in the ruck. Damon applies a tackle on Tilly, will ball it up once again.
Starting to get frustrated. Sam Murray's pleading to the umpire at that stoppage there. So the tag seems to be working for Magpies.
Yeah, he's had the jumper held a few times. I think that's probably what he's getting angry about.
Carthy kicks to an open goal square, and playing the goalkeeper role, as he's done for a very long time, as Matty Grossman. Had another really good game today. He's going to pump it long. Out of defence, Knowlesy in front, takes the mark. In front of Lockie O'Brien, does Big Knowlesy. He's going to try and keep this down the line here and
the bench is yelling at him to slow it down. There's obviously not long to go.
play the percentages. We've played 29 minutes for Maccas. Clark tried to mark it on his chest, and in the end it's fisted over the boundary line for a throw-in. 1 point ball game. It's all set up for a grandstand fourth term. We're doing it all thanks to Wangaratta MG here in the third quarter. Maggies by a point, Peterborough home scoreboard.
So not long to go here. 29 and a half gone. Really thrilling game of football. It's going to come down to a massive fourth term. Nice boundary throw-in. Knowles won the tap. Richards worked his way into the game. And the siren sounds here at the Wangaratta Derby. 65 plays 66. The Maggies with their noses in front on the Peterborough home scoreboard. Don't you go anywhere. A massive final quarter of footy coming your way on the other side of the break. 10-6, 66 the Pies. 10-5, 65 the Rovers on the Peterborough home scoreboard here on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
Shawty get inspired, how about that? How about that? This time.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Drive 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Ooh. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and prime for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.
%100% locally owned and operated.
O&M Live on 2AY.
Welcome back to the WJ Finlay Oval, three-quarter time here in the Wangaratta Derby, and it's the nearest of margins to the way of the Wangaratta Magpies, 10-6-66 to the Wang Rovers, 10-5-65. We're going to go through to Dan Vaccaro now for our Albury Vital Air quarters best. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Panda. Alex Federico, the Preston Prince, I thought was really good that quarter. He had 9 disposals. He was doing some really good work in the midfield, so he's up to 20 for the game. Really hard to tip one for Rovers. Sam Murray was tagged that quarter. He only had the 6 disposals, 34 for the game. I thought Ed Damon came alive that quarter a little bit more. He had 4 disposals and kicked a really important goal, Panda.
He did indeed. Quick shout out to a couple of people shooting through some location comments on our O&M Snap Print Solutions YouTube. Rowan said, I'm watching from Yak and Danda. Over in the TDFL. Eric said watching from Lang Warren, and he's a Wang Rovers fan. Rube said I'm keeping an eye on the game while at Mount Waverley's temporary home ground, watching their game versus East Burwood. Andrea Belchi says watching from Whitfield. Another one from Orange Grove and Essendon. So O&M Live is global and trending. Who are some of the big stat winners, please, Dan, in that third quarter, especially Sam Murray?
Yeah, well, Sam Murray, he's had 34 disposals and a goal. He's still been best on ground for mine. He's been absolutely fantastic. Lockie O'Brien's at the 18. Sam Catapan's worked his way into the game well. He's up to 19. Brody Filer, the 500 gamer. He's up to 20 on the 40-wing stat sheet. I've really liked his work today. And for Wangaratta Magpies, the Preston Prince, Alex Federico's at 20. Jackson Clark's been good. He's at 14 and 3 goals. He's on track to kick the 5 like I called it pre-game. And Brad Melville has had the 15 disposals.
Scott Montgomery, boundary side for Cora, Better Electrical.
Yeah, Jackson Clark didn't kick one in the second quarter with the win, so he probably won't kick one in this quarter, so he's probably not on track backs. But anyway, I listened to the huddles, boys, and I tell you what, Sam Murray was just into his team a little bit. Thought they'd let the Magpies back into that game in that quarter. Thought that they had it on their terms, and a couple of cheap turnovers gave a couple of goals away. Well, listen to Jason Heatley. He was quite passionate and said, boys, we're fitter, we're quicker, they're uncramped, they're the ones that are going to fall over here, so let's make sure we just run them off their legs.
Like it from Jace. Passionate man. Great to have him in the ovens and Murray, and a bit of an upset if his Magpies could get a win over the Rovers today, and the Rovers did win all 3 derbies last year. Gus McLeod, who are you picking going into the last quarter?
I tipped the Magpies at the start of the day. I'm going to stick with them.
Dan?
I'm going to change. I reckon Magpies will get it done as well.
You're a turncoat. Monty?
I'll stick with the Rovers by a couple points.
I'm going to go with the Maggies.
Yeah,
Wendy Lister was in earshot, so that's why I had to do it.
For Tyre Power, Wodonga, Blake Panarescott has got the final term of the season opener.
Back in the middle. And here is Federico getting to work again. Quick tumbling kick towards O'Keefe. Allison brought him down in a big tackle. O'Keefe got rid of it somehow. Melville, he's already kicked 2. Left foot kick into the pocket. It's a grab of the jumper. Was it on Hayden? Surely. And the umpire says no, throw it in.
Cooper started back.
Interesting.
Very interesting. I just wondered whether he was doing the ruck work, Monty, but no, he's definitely started back. Thrown back in. 20 metres out from Magpie goal. Laverty. Hewitt came through. Jackson Clark over this football. Murray over him. Ball up. 40 round for the Magpies goal.
Have the Rovers gone small in attack, Monty?
Yeah, Damon's still down there, so they haven't gone completely small, but Charlie Thompson, Dill Wilson, McCartney and McCarthy.
Inside 50 at present for the Wangaratta Magpies. Allison handballs in a bit of hope in the Catapan direction. Tied up on the boundary. Not 15 was the kick, so Clark sends it to the top of the goal square, trying to find Hayden. Nice defensive fist coming in from Brodie Paul, who's been pretty serviceable today, Monty.
I reckon he's been really good, considering we didn't see much last year, only the one senior game. I thought his job back there has been really, really good.
Him and Joel Smith, I reckon.
Yep, agreed.
I think all of the youngsters coming in have made an impact. Clellan's been okay. Schulte's had some moments. Boundary throw-in comes back into play. Snap on goal. Jasper Craven! kicks his second goal. Some debut in Wangaratta Magpies colours for the son of a gun. And that's a really good start to the fourth term, thanks to tyre power.
Yeah, how good was that? Jasper Craven doing the job on Sam Murray since half-time and able to hit the scoreboard, just hurting him going the other way. So really good start there for Jasper.
Yeah, fantastic start for Jasper. He's only had 6 disposals since half-time. Sam Murray's had 34 for the game, still been brilliant, but they're doing a really good job. And Wangaratta Magpies off to a great start. 3 inside 50s. Rovers yet to go inside their dangerous territory.
There's a snap over his shoulder. It was a brilliant finish from Jasper Craven. We're underway in this fourth term for A1 Tyre Power.
Just Ed Damon, boys, is signalling to the bench. I'm not sure what's going on, so I'll just keep an eye on that one.
It's been a bit proppy all day, has Big Ed. Knowles, I reckon, just starting to get on top in the ruck as well. There's Big Knowlesy. There's a free kick here for a trip. It's once again going away the Magpies. And it's going to go away to Chris Knowles. They want to pay advantage here, but the umpire is having none of it. Knowlesy wants to play on. Go quick to Tilly. He's got a bit of acreage in front of him. Kicks into the pocket. Really good to Hayden. Got front position. Out the back, Melville. Tied up against the boundary. Unselfishly to Laverty. His kick was smothered. Wonderful defensive effort from Jace McQuaid and the Wangaratta Rovers. It was a certain goal. And it's through for a minor score. 73 plays 65. Maggie's up by 8 points on the border switchboard scoreboard.
Unselfish from Melville then. Could have kicked it.
He could have. He's a team player, is Squid Melville. But sometimes you need to go hungry yourself. Could that be a crucial moment in this contest? Catapan for the Rovers across half-back. Been a really good game today from Sam in his second season in brown and gold. Out in the showground side wing, Brody Philo got a handball away. Umpire said it was fair. Interesting one from O'Brien. Paid dividends with a hit and hope onto Catapan. And now Dill Wilson kicks down the line for the Rovers. Good contest. Coming late was Norton, got a fist, but the Rovers have numbers.
It's going to go to Wangway, yep.
Free
too
kick,
high.
Monty, too high?
Yeah, just too high. I think Mickey Baudiong's going to get that one against McCartney, I think.
Or is it going to be Tyler Norton? Nah, it's going to be Boards. Norton looks a bit ginger, Monty. Keep tabs on him. 73 plays 65 here on the border switchboards scoreboard. Big shout out to Brennan Genvey joining the call in 2025. And another whistle, free kick downfield. So it's in the hands of Chris Knowles, who's probably won the ruck battle today.
Yep, certainly.
Penetrating ball, finds his way to Harry Hewitt. The Magpies are 80 from home.
Hewitt in the bright orange boots, kicks into the pocket. Hayden's provided a target all day. Ledger came over the top and fisted it like a great defender should over the boundary line for a throw in. Sniffing around the Magpies goal. How many inside 50s to start this fourth term, Dan?
Yeah, Wangaratta Magpies 5 and Rovers yet to go inside forward 50.
Update on Norton, just a bit of cramp. Had the pickle juice and stretched, and he's right to go.
4 minutes gone for Maccas in this fourth term for A1 Tyre Power. And another ball up. It looks to be inside attack here for the Wang Magpies. No. Paul popped it over the top for a little hand pass and it's trickled over the boundary line.
Around the grounds for Evolution Roofing, Beechworth lead Chilton by 20 points at three-quarter time, and Kiwa running away 80 to Yakandanda 37 at three-quarter time also.
Wow. And Gold Coast have beaten Adelaide by a point, I think, Dan, in the AFL.
They did.
91-90, so a ripping game between two sides, so we think are probably going to make a statement this year. Knowlesy's just planted himself outside, attacking 50 like a wall, finds Melville, hand passes here to Grossman, kicks towards goal from Matt Grossman! A steal line goal today from Grossi. A wonderful finish from the defender. How many times have we seen that in the ovens of Murray? Grossi with pace and a wonderful finish, Scott Montgomery.
Absolutely was, but Chris Knowles stood up there, took the mark, intercept mark, and then was able to find Federico across half forward, and just smart play. Grossman on the fly, give it to him every single time, and really smart from Federico to give it to him.
Had a really good game, Matty Grossman, and I've really loved Alex Federico as well. He's had 22 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet and 2 goals, so he's just a fantastic midfielder.
5 consecutive goals to the Wangaratta Magpies. They lead by 14 points here on O&M Live. Matt Grossman winding back the clock with a brilliant fourth-term goal. In the middle, Charlie Thompson for the Rovers wins the clearance and kicks to centre-half forward. Good contest forms coming through. Wilson onto Catapan in the leading lane trying to find Lewis. Fumbled it, running it back with the flight. Grossman's hot on his heels. Waitai Tua on hands and knees collects. Finds his left boot, looking to go long down the line. Bit too much for Will O'Keefe. Well done, Damon. Now Lockie O'Brien for the Rovers finds Christie. And Will Christie's marked well and truly within range, but with the breeze going against him, this would be a good kick of the footy, 45 metres out, call it directly in front.
Yeah, I don't think distance was the issue there, but how good was that kick going back inside from O'Brien? Just found the target, a lot of space there, so the Wangaratta defenders didn't quite locate and attach quick enough.
Haven't kicked a goal since the 12-minute mark of the third term. The Wangaratta Rovers, they desperately need this one to bring some momentum back in their favour. Will Christie's being quiet by his high standards, but this could swing the ledger. Right foot kick, looks okay off the boot. Got the legs and it's through the big sticks. It only just got there from Big Will, and the Rovers kicked their 11th. Margins back to 8 points on O&M Live thanks to Border Switchboards.
Yeah, that was a fantastic finish there by Will Christie, and that kick from Lockie O'Brien, Monty mentioned, was fantastic, but he's had a really quiet second half. He's only touched the pill 3 times in the second half, and he had 16 in the first, so if he could get off the leash this quarter, it's going to go a long way for Rovers getting the victory.
They brought him up to a wing too, Dan O'Brien, so he was playing off the half-back line, Now he's come up to a wing.
Good move.
Biggest margin of the day has been 15 points. I just can't see this blowing out in any way, shape or form. 7 minutes played for Maccas in this fourth term for A1 Tyre Power. Both teams won't give an inch. Here's Charlie Thompson with pace. Runs towards goal, sends a long one down there. Who's in a tussle? Roving the pack there was McCartney. Not able to mark. The Magpies see it across the boundary line with great grit in defence. Minor score back to 7 points. Rovers 11-6 to the Magpies 12-7. Gus McLeod and Blake Pandares got with you for the Northo Hotel as Barrett brings it back in for the Pies.
Looking forward to a cold one at the Northo tonight, Panda.
Absolutely.
Down the line, good contest. Well done by Laverty, he prevails. Handball's back, heard the voice of Waitai Tua. Now the Magpies hug the boundary line, showground side. Nolan's got time, intercepts for the Rovers, handballs over the top to Allison who fumbled at the pivotal moment, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in right in front of the Border Switchboard scoreboard. The Rovers 11-6-72, the Magpies, I should say, 12-7-79. We've played 9 minutes here for Maccas in the fourth term of the season opener Wang Derby.
Looking forward to a wonderful O&M season ahead on 2AY, Edge FM and O&M Snapprint Solutions TV as Murray says, let's go boys, pumps him to half forward. Gathering was McCarthy. Stops, props, waits for his charges to run forward. One of those was Dylan Stone. Tries to get around Ellis. Does well. Slips over as he sets sail for goal to Dylan Stone. Cleland wraps up Tilly. Umpire says, give it to me. Stone just looks a little bit proppy too, Monty, as he tries to run away.
Just slipped on that ankle, and I reckon he might have rolled it a little bit.
Syndesmosis?
No, not quite.
On, Dan. I don't wish that on anyone. Christie, did he get grabbed high? Umpire says play on. Going in there was Catapan. He's been wrapped up. Lots of great efforts in this fourth term for A1 Tyre Power. So we go to Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Really good game of footy here on a knife's edge. Inside attacking 50 for the Magpies. Appealing for a high free kick and getting one. Not sure who it is.
McCarthy.
Is it McCarthy?
Yep.
It is. And this will be a pretty good chance for a player of his calibre, Monty. I reckon he'll go a little snap and slot this one. Tight angle. Only 20 metres from home.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way he's gone about it this quarter. He's been moved forward. They've made a few changes. I thought his game was pretty good on the wing up until now, but now he's gone forward and provided a really good option.
This to bring it back to a 1-point ball game in the Wangaratta Derby. Alex McCarthy starts it okay, slots it through the big sticks. Steel line goal today as the Rovers kick consecutive goals. It's back to a 1-point ball game on O&M Live.
Just a really good game of footy, isn't it, Gus? We've said it. It's just ebbed and flowed all day, and we're not going to get a blowout. It's been fantastic. Sam Catapan, he's come alive this quarter. He has had 25 for the game, and this second half he's had 10 disposals, so he's been really prominent. And so has Brodie Filo. Lockie O'Brien starting to come alive as well, so 21 disposals for him for the game and 3 already this quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Dylan Wilson was pretty confident here on the bench, boys. He turned around to me and said he'll kick this as soon as he got the free kick.
Because he stands up in big games, and it's a sign of a really good player. He done that all in 2024, Alex McCarthy, and he's doing it again in 2025 as Craven gets it out of the middle. Loved his game today. No fuss operator from Jasper. Kicks to half forward. Good hand pass from O'Brien. Damon just fumbled at the last minute. He's been wrapped up by Waitai Tua. Good pressure from Waitai, the best name in footy. And we'll have a ball up, 70 around, far side for the Magpies goal. 79 plays 78. Maggie's in front by a point for Border Switchboards. And Murray didn't really get a kick away. Everyone stopped. Got to play the whistle, and O'Brien took advantage. And he chipped it down the line to Lockie McCartney. Right in front of the scoreboard. Kicks to half forward. O'Brien and Waitai Tua over the boundary line throw in. Scott Montgomery, what are you noticing boundary side for Corowa Tiles?
Yeah, it's really tightened up again, I reckon. I reckon the Magpies gone in their shell a little bit, haven't had their hands on the footy for a little while. So once they get it, they just need to make sure they control it, get the momentum back, because the Rovers are well on top at the moment.
Is the breeze still a factor, Monty?
Yeah, definitely still there. Probably only 2 or 3 goal breeze now.
Ball's in the hands of Jackson Clark, who's been a star today for the Magpies. Kicks a dump ball down the line. One-on-one contest. Cooper, Laverty. Laverty won the battle, but he turned it over and got the ball to Nolan for the Rovers. Kicks down the line. Jasper Craven. Beautiful reading of the football. Wants to play on and kick quickly. On the left boot. In towards the hot spot. Well done, Jace McQuaid. Got a fist. Ledger's hot in pursuit. O'Keefe crumbs. O'Keefe goals! He misses. Geez, I thought that went through the big sticks the way the goal umpire was moving. Nice crumbing from Will O'Keefe. 2-point ball game favouring the Magpies. Border Switchboard scoreboard at the 13-minute mark.
We'll get to Dan Vaccaro soon for some 40-wink stats as Allison brings it into defence. Not a great kick. It held up in the wind, and it had to be marked from Richards. Or front on contact. Take your pick. Anyway, Magpies kick it 40 metres into attack, and it's gone over the boundary line as we go to Dan Vaccaro for 40 winks.
Oh, it's just been such an even affair, guys. It's 7 inside 50s apiece this quarter, and they've just been so even all day. It's ebbed and flowed in moments, and Sam Catapan, he's had 25 disposals on the 40-wink stat sheet.
Magpies 12-8-80. Rovers 12-6-78 for A1 tyre power. Toss back in. Damon with that tap down to Grossman. Was he pushed in the back? Umpire says play on. And we'll have another stoppage, another ball up, a stalemate inside attack. Maggie's 2-point leaders in the Wang Derby. First edition Gus McLeod as he cheers home a horse. Please gamble responsibly. I reckon it might be his old man's. I'll keep going, Gussie. As Damon taps it down to Heatley from the stoppage. Heatley! Oh. What a finish from Parker! That's his second. Took the advantage of an opportunistic effort from the ruck. And that's a wonderful finish, and the margin is back out to 8 points.
How good was that there from Parker Heatley? We've heard a lot about what he can do around goals, and that right there shows us what we've got to look forward to this year on O&M Live. Absolutely fantastic finish from a really good player, and just that breathing space I feel the Magpies needed.
Yeah, really good finish there, and as we said, the game is just taking another turn. It's so even. It's 8 inside 50s to 7 at the moment, and it's a really good contest at the moment. Sam Murray's been super quiet. He's been well held. He's only had the 7 disposals in this second half. He's had 35 for the game.
Big shout out to the old boy. He'll be very happy. Torrenzino wins the Easter Cup at Caulfield. And a big shout out to Dan Vaccaro, who was on board as well.
Why didn't I jump on?
Oh, most of mine run pretty ordinary. That might be why. Thank God it's a good game of footy. The Magpies go to centre half forward. Well done, McQuaid. Got a big fist. Heatley's working his way into the game. McQuaid goes by hand. The Rovers inboard. Charlie Thompson smashed in a big tackle, and a momentum shift has gone the way of the Magpies here, Monty.
Absolutely has. That goal has just opened it up a little bit for them, and their midfielders are starting to go to work here.
So ball up. Damon's gone into the ruck. Leaving it behind was Knowles. And the umpire calls for it once again. 15 and a half minutes gone. Thanks to Maccas. 86 plays 78. The Magpies lead the Rovers. Ruck infringement free kick is going to go the way of Ed Damon. And he'll have a ball in his hands on the defensive 50 arc.
Jeez, I don't know if Jasper Craven can stand there all that, can he?
Probably not, Monty, but it works okay here for the Rovers. Lewis, brilliant kick down the line. Mark's been taken. It's Cleland on the right boot. Top of the goal square for the Wangaratta Rovers, trying to find Christie. Nice work defensively from Grossman. Melville mops up the crumbs, and the Magpies are out as the ball's in the hands of Jackson Clark across halfback.
Says, boys, let's just slow it down. Let's get some numbers forward. One of those is Nick Richards, who's played really well on a wing today. 86 plays 78. Maggie's in front as Richards takes off. Kicks it inside attack. Laverty front posse, not able to mark. Well done from Ledger, who gathered the footy. Here he is again. In fact, it was Cooper. Boundary throw in, 40 metres around from the Magpies goal, who lead by 8 points for Border Switchboards. We played 16 minutes for Maccas in this fourth quarter. A wonderful Wangaratta derby to start the season here in the Ovens and Murray. Throw in. This is where Parker Heatley was really dangerous earlier. Damon over the back, Federico grabbed off the footy. Murray was careful. Craven in there trying to get his hands to it. So Allison, they pile on him. We've got a stalemate, Gussie, for the Northo Hotel. 30 around for the Maggies goal.
I think the Magpies will like this, though. More time in their territory. Just got to make sure if they turn it over, the Rovers can't slingshot. Ball up. 20 metres out from Magpies goal. Damon's gone into the ruck as Murray gets a disposal. He's been quiet in this second half. Well held, but he gains some valuable yards. Tyler Norton has pressure hot on his heels, evades one. Handballs cleverly, finds Barrett. Now Boarding-Yong, right foot kick, calm and poised. Finds a good teammate in Harry Hewitt, who's been really good today. Popped up with the goal on the second term, and has rightfully done so with the jumper change to number 5. Inside 50, Parker Heatley! That's what we're talking about. That's what the wraps were for. A Mawson's concrete marker that he'll have a shot from 40.
Yeah, really good positioning there from Harry Hewitt to get in a good spot. And Parker Heatley, wow, if we can see that a bit more this year, it'll be really good to watch. He's got all the wraps on him, so hopefully he goes back here, puts this one through and gives his team a little bit more breathing space.
This would be a really big kick of the footy if he can put it through the big sticks, get the margin back out to 14 points. Force the Rovers to have to kick 3 more goals at least. He's been a little bit skew-if today, Parker.
2-3.
2 goals, 3. He's hit the scoreboard in every term. And can he have his biggest effect in the final quarter? The left foot kick from Parker is beautiful. Big game player, big game moment, big goal to Parker Heatley. The Wangaratta Magpies are out to a 14-point lead thanks to Border Switchboards. 19 minutes gone for Maccas.
Yeah, 3-3 to Parker Heatley today, and that might just be a sign for things to come. They might just have a really good player there, and Wangaratta Magpies could very well run away with it. It's going to be hard from here, but Rovers can do it. 11 inside 50s to 10 this quarter, so still even in terms of the territory, but Wangaratta Magpies playing some good footy. Alex Federico, the Preston Prince, he's had 23 and 2 today, been really good, and Brad Malville's had the 19 disposals and kick 2.
8 goals to 5 in the second half. The Maggies have really stood up. The new young Maggies, hey, for 2025 with nothing to lose. We're back in the middle, and the Rovers would want to kick one pretty quick. 19 minutes gone for Maccas.
They can kick him quickly, though, Panda, the Wangaratta Rovers.
Absolutely. They'll have to do it against a 2 or 3 goal breeze, though. So the Maggies have just used that to their advantage beautifully as Damon brought down at a big tackle. Not sure he got rid of that. As Catapan goes inside 50. Christie resting forward. Thompson out the back is going to... Oh, he almost ran into an open goal and he missed it. Went for the dribbler. It was a wonderful defensive effort. Was that from Ryan Batten?
Ryan Batten.
It was Ryan Batten who just touched him as he went to kick. And it dribbled through for a minor score. Really feel like that had to go through. 12-8-79 to the Wang Rovers, the Magpies 14-8-92. It's a 13-point lead to the Maggies. Dan Vaccaro, 40 winks.
Yeah, what a fantastic chase down there by Batten. That's almost a game-saving tackle there. And this quarter's been super even. Rovers 10 inside 50s to Magpies 11.
That stuff wins your games of footy. Well done, Ryan Batten. Mawson's concrete player that day. Barrett from full-back. Kicks out wide. Looks like he's got Grossman across half-back. In fact, it's Hayden who kicks long down the line. Nolan flew high. Back of the contest here was Smith for the Rovers. Has to be clean, polished, is inboard. Damon 1-2 onto Cooper. Brody Philo on the boot. High up and under the centre half forward. Big contest forms. Well crumbed. Stone in the centre of the ground. Wants to switch it out to the broadcast side wing in front of the Rovers faithful. Charlie Thompson on the right. Nice looking kick inside 50. Bit too much on it for McCartney. Christie can't get there, and it's a boundary throwing deep in the pocket. For Cora Better Electrical, Monty, the Rovers need one quick.
They do. From this contest, I reckon they're going to have to kick one. 20 minutes gone, 21 minutes gone. It's going to be very hard to kick 3 goals.
13 points the lead to the way of the Maggies. Lost the last 3 derbies. What a way to start the year it would be for the black and white. Here's Zoe Schulte. Gives it off to his coach, who snaps around the corner, and it's through for a minor score. Couple of shots here, the Wang Rovers, that had to go through also from Sam Murray. His numbers, please, Dan Vaccaro.
Yeah, Sam Murray's had 37 disposals.
So the margin back to 12 points. 80 plays 92 as the Magpies bring it out of defence.
Nice work from Damon. We called for him to lift at half-time, Monty, and he's done that. Right foot kick to centre half forward, Gotchling. Well read, intercepted beautifully. The switch is on at the showground side. If they want to use it, they're going to opt to stop and prop here and come back inboard. Tilly and McCartney. Tilly took the mark. Was there a bit of a tension late there, Mon?
Just as he took it.
Could have killed him.
He tried to.
I reckon he would have liked to have made better connection. I don't mind it. Make your opposition earn every single kick. Batten has the ball across half-back for the Wangaratta Magpies. What options present for him? Nothing of his liking, so he's going to kick to a 2-on-2 contest. Knowles and Ledger. Ledger and Knowles. Knowles, he's trying to claim it. Fed the ball backwards. They kick long down the line. Whiteside Tour looking to buy some real estate. And the umpire says we'll bring it back into play 55 metres out from Magpies goal. The Wangaratta Magpies lead 14-8-92 to the Rovers 12-8-80. It's on the Border Switchboard scoreboard, and almost 23 minutes have elapsed for Maccas in the final term.
Precious seconds tipping away here for the Rovers. They do something pretty quick. Allison, free kick for a trip against Big Tweedale. O'Brien's going to cut off something really aggressive in the middle of the ground. Gotchling did well as a free kick. Yep, a free kick for a too high. Gotchling's put himself in a dangerous position a couple of times now. Intercept mark before and a free kick there. 60 from home, into the pocket. Parker with 2 to beat. Not able to mark. Brought it to ground level. Boundary line wins out. Right next to the point post. Right where you want it if you're a Wang Magpie supporter. The scoreboard for Border Switchboard's looking beautiful for them. 92 plays 80. Gus McLeod for the Northo Hotel.
Dan Vaccaro's been next door. An update on the clock, Dan.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes left.
Back into play. Damon in the ruck, left it behind. Catapan dispossessed. Hot on his heels. Craven kicks the goal! Jasper Craven's kicked 3. The Maggies are running away with it. The new look, black and white, might have caused a boil over in the season over to Monty.
Absolutely. How good has this bloke been since half-time? He's hit the scoreboard, kicked the 3 goals for the game, and done an absolute job on the Rovers coach.
Yeah, that is game, set and match. Gus, I've called it, and he could almost be player of the day the way he's carried this second half. He's kicked goals. He's absolutely stopped Sam Murray in his tracks, and we know how hard that is. He's only had the 8 disposals in the second half and had no impact on the contest, so huge performance by Jasper Craven.
It'll be hard to go past him for the Anytime Fitness player of the day.
Stop trying to influence me.
I reckon Dan was just trying to do that then. Dan will carry the all-important sign down to you, Monty, after the game, and you two will talk about it. But I tell you what, Jasper wants it. He's sniffing it. Here's Tweedale out of the middle again. The Preston Prince, Federico. Sharp kick to half forward. Matty Hayden tracking this one back. So's Lavity. McQuaid wins for the brown and gold, though. Really awkward kick out of defence. A lot of Magpie numbers here at half forward. Not a great hand pass from the Rovers. O'Keefe put Clark under real pressure. Able to hand pass it out. Rid half back. And Sam's going to bite off something inboard for the Wangaratta Rovers, but it's all too late, Gussie.
It is. Tilly flew across Charlie Thompson. Made a really good contest. And it's going to be too little too late. As the Rovers edge forward into attack. The Magpies lead by 3 goals for Border Switchboards. A lot of people thought the Rovers were going to be too emphatic today, unveiling the flag in front of their home fans. But this new look black and white outfit of the Wangaratta Magpies has really stood up and will pose the question, did a few of us write them off too early in 2025? Perhaps one of them myself. Federico for the Magpies, long down the broadcast side wing. Lavity's been good, makes a good contest. The Rovers hot in the heels of Hayden, who kicks long down the line. Cooper's gone to full back for the Wangaratta Rovers, gathers nicely on the right boot, inboard to Xavier Allison, who marks in front of Hunter Gotchling.
It's a really good goal in the third quarter, did the new captain, Allison. Goes on to Stone. His kick asks a lot here of Alex McCarthy, who's got Tyler Norton to beat, 2 great young players. Wilson lends a hand, edge of the square, far side. Goes to half forward, Booth on a searching lead. Lowers his eyes, barely went 15. Too low, in fact, for his teammate inside attacking 50. We're going to have a stoppage. 40 out from the Rovers goal. 12-8-80. They trail the Magpies 15-8-98 for Border Switchboards. 26 minutes gone for Maccas. As O'Brien out of the stoppage kicks a steel line goal that aiders Lockie O'Brien, who's been a little bit quiet, but he has stepped up in this last quarter. Brings the margin back to 2 goals. Is it still alive, Dan?
Nah. I think there'd only be probably a minute left, so something spectacular would have to happen, Panda. But Lockie O'Brien, he's been solid today. He's had a quiet second half, but he's come alive. He's got a little bit of the ball, so 24 disposals and a goal for him today. So Sam Catapan, another one who's been pretty solid all day. 26 disposals on the 40-week stat sheet for him.
Scott Montgomery, boundary side for Corowa Tiles. It's a flat WJ Finlay.
It is a little bit. The bench has gone a bit flat, but I'll tell you what, Lockie O'Brien's effort there to win that footy and kick that goal was really second to none. He's just willing himself here to finish this game off.
Federico, he's been very good today. Won the clearance. Bit too hot for Hewitt. Damon throws it on the boot for the Wangaratta Rovers and gains some valuable yards, but Grossman just winding back the clock, intercepts and pumps it long as far as he possibly can. Contest forms. Gotchling was first there. Left it behind for Tua. Handball over the top. Well done, Charles Ledger. Now Dylan Stone stops, props, comes backwards onto Sam Murray, who switches the ball, trying to give some life to the Wangaratta Rovers as Brody Paul marks. Kicks long down the line. O'Brien, he's going to have the sit. Well held up on the man of the mark by Fraser Ellis. He's got to go, and he's got to go quickly, O'Brien. Inside 50, this has to come off. Beautiful fist from Jackson Clark. He's been instrumental, the new co-captain. Inside 50 will ball the footy up into attack for the Wangaratta Rovers. What about that effort from Jackson Clark, Panda?
Fantastic.
He come from about 100 metres away too, boys. He read that ball absolutely unbelievable, and he's cramping, but he's got back to this contest now.
Magpies lead by 2 goals. 28 played for Maccas in this final term for tyre power. And here's O'Brien again. Hand pass it to McCarthy. His kick was smothered, and Norton reefs it out of defence for the Magpies. Laverty's been good. Hand passes inboard to Matty Hayden, who's got absolutely no one in his half of the ground. Just pumps a torpedo punt though. And Ledger, first one back in defence for the Wang Rovers. Hugs the boundary line. Smith not over the mark. Fraser Ellis with a great defensive effort, much to the cheer of the Wangaratta Magpie Army, who are sniffing a big upset here. 98 plays, 86. Magpies lead. 29 minutes played for Maccas in this final term. Gus McLeod.
Jason Heatley, in his first game as coach of the Wangaratta Magpies, is going to see victory. Hasn't won in round 1 in his coaching career for 4 years. He's going to rewrite the script here in his new colours of the black and white of the Magpies. They're going to cause a boil over and ruin the party of the Rovers. 98 plays, 86. Border Switchboard scoreboard, I should say.
Blood rule on Federico here.
And he'll come off, Monty, and that'll probably do him for the day.
Been brilliant today, Federico. He's had 26 disposals and kick 2. He could be a smoky for the Anytime Fitness.
Well, you just take the photo, Dan. Monty can pick who it is. So coming back onto the field of play is Will O'Keefe. Umpire's going to throw the Sharon aloft. Not long to go in the final term. Philo's wrapped up in a big tackle by Hunter Gotchling.
They'll be happy with this, the Magpies, won't they? Just shut it down.
Yeah, big time. Knowles and Damon. Now over the footy is Hayden. Been a great comeback game, and the siren sounds! It's a boil over at the WJ Finlay Oval. The Magpies have spoilt the parade of the Wangaratta Rovers. 15-8-98 the Magpies to 13-8-86 the Rovers. An emphatic way to kickstart a new era at the Wangaratta Magpies. Jason Heatley and his new look black and white Panda have caused an absolute boil over in the season opener.
They certainly have, and I tell you what, Jace Heatley walking down the balcony stairs very happy, surrounded by Rovers supporters. It's a good walk down the balcony when you win here at the WJ Finlay Oval. 3 derby defeats in a row, and that has stopped today. Magpies spoiling the unveiling of the Premiership flag party and Brody Philo's 500th senior game as well. So a very memorable day here for the Wang Magpies. Don't forget, Gussie, they started the season 0-4 last year, so a massive confidence-boosting win. As Scotty Montgomery just looks around, Dan Vaccaro's bringing the sign down as well. And we're going to figure out who our Anytime Fitness Player of the Day is. Parker Heatley with 3 second-half goals. Jasper Craven with 3 second-half goals as well. And did a really good shutdown job on Sam Murray. So if you just join the broadcast, 2AY Edge FM, Snap Print Solutions TV, it's the Magpies by 12 points over the Rovers. Here he is. Welcome to the Ovens and Murray, Jasper Craven. He's going to find out a lot about this, Monty.
He is, and he's copping grief already, and he's going to learn once you get the sign, you just keep copping grief from the teammates. But I do have Jasper Craven, Anytime Fitness Player of the Day, mate. How good's that? Wearing the jumper, your old man, wore for a lot, and to get a win against the arch rival in the opening round.
Oh, mate, couldn't ask for anything better. I've been wanting to play for this club for a long time, and finally made it happen this year. And couldn't be happy with the debut.
And it looks like you got the hard job after half time, having to run around with Sammy Murray, who had a lot of it in the first half, and you were able to quell his influence a little bit.
Yeah, thrown into the fire against Murray. He's a bloody good player, so mate, I'm just happy to get the win, and good start to the year.
And the work the boys were able to do around the ground, your back six stood up really strong, and then when you got to the inside, your Smalls went to work, and also Parker kicking 3 as well as yourself.
Exactly. I think we're just a bit more even across the board this year. Like, we're a bit underrated, and we all stood up today, so it was awesome.
Well, mate, go and enjoy it, even though you dropped the magic there. Cheers, mate. See ya.
They dropped the magic. He's done a BT. He's dropped the magic. I love it as Jasper Craven, and what a debut for a club that his dad dominated for, and to kick 3 goals and to stop the best player in the comp in the second half in his tracks. I mean, he couldn't have asked for anything more.
Sam Murray had 29 disposals and a goal at half-time. Jasper Craven went to him in the second half and kept him to 11 disposals and managed to kick 3 himself. Some debut from Jasper. And Panda, this poses a massive question. I'm having second thoughts about the Wangaratta Magpies. They are a really strong outfit. They've still got some really good class, and we're seeing a few of these new guys. Parker Heatley, Jasper Craven, Matt Hayden. What a return game from him. Maybe the Magpies are the real deal this year, Panda. They could still push to play September footy. I know it's only early, but they looked impressive today.
Yeah, absolutely they did. Young stars stood up. Don't forget they've still got Dan Sharrock to come into the side at some stage this year. Jackson Clark was fit. Melville kicked 2 goals. He looks fit. There's still so much class out there as Magpie Army welcome them in, and Scott Montgomery will try and fit into those rooms if he can.
They're heaving already, boys.
It's going to be a very, very loud song, and they're going to enjoy every second of this. The Wangaratta Magpies, 12-point winners over the Rovers, and the score is down off that scoreboard very quickly. Of course, it's a tradition to leave the scoreboard up for a week, whoever wins the derby. And the Rovers have taken it down very quickly. We'll follow Scott Montgomery into the rooms, and we'll try our best to get this song. There's going to be a few in the circle, Gussie.
Big time. I reckon they're going to do the ball quiet, and they'll launch into it. The Wangaratta Magpies over the Rovers, 13-8-86. We'll take a break here on O&M Live, and we're looking forward to catching up with the brand new coach of the Wangaratta Magpies, Jason Heatley, to join us on the other side of the break as we unpack a really exciting way to kickstart 2025 in the SS&A Ovens and Murray. The Magpies over the Rovers and O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
What's your future look like? Where do you want to be? Whatever it looks like, with GoTAFE, you've got this. Get real skills for real jobs and careers right now. Search GoTAFE today.
The Ovens and Murray Football League is proudly sponsored by Opal. Thinking packaging? Discover Opal.
I reckon I'll go mid. Carlton Dry 3.5. Embrace the mid.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
No one celebrates life like you do. At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we're here to help you celebrate the life of your loved one, your own special way. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
There's a home, there's
With Optus Home Internet, you get more yes. Whoa. Which means less family screen time and more harmony with powerful Wi-Fi. Woo. Get the Ultra Wi-Fi modem at no extra cost.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Out of the box and you're primed for the show. On your marks, get set. Being first out the gate. Get the fit you need. The athlete's foot. Fit for every run.